And kick-off 3 o'clock here, as well as the teams come out at home park. Listen to the noise of the Argyle faithful here at this ground. Green and white flags flying, and away to our left, green and white striped mosaics held up by the Argyle fans. And they're singing a song called the Janners song. Before kick-off, they sing this every game here at home park. Janners is a Devonian word meaning someone from Devon. It's West Country slang. The chorus goes, Janners, Janners, down in Plymouth, we're all known as Janners. There's a questionable line in the song. Our own football team, Plymouth Argyle, supreme. They have not been supreme this season, but this is the FA Cup. Plymouth have got no chance against this season's Liverpool. But Liverpool without a selection of stars, well, maybe, just maybe, that might mobilise the Green Army like the Armada all those years ago. Plymouth-Liverpool, live and exclusive, and only on Talksport, with FA Cup winner Scott Minto, alongside your commentator, Jim Proudfoot.
Thank you, Adrian, and a very good afternoon to you. Welcome to the biggest city in England never to have enjoyed top-flight football, a fact which adds an extra dimension to any visit of Premier League opposition. The season began in this corner of the southwest to an overture of excitement at the arrival of one Liverpudlian. 6 months on, the clamour to see Liverpool themselves is all-encompassing, and for many, it's deja vu after Argyle's Anfield heroics earned them a replay 8 years ago, only for the Reds to navigate a tricky replay on Devonshire soil. They haven't had a game like this here since, and it's the highlight of a desperately tough campaign where wins have been isolated amidst the malaise that seriously threatens their hard-earned championship status. The injection of fresh blood, both on and off the field, has provided a glimmer of light, but the new-look Argyle can put thoughts of the ensuing scrap to one side for 90 minutes at least. This is how they line up. Hazard in goal. A back five as Sorinola, Talavierov, Kadic, Plegathuelo and Puhac. Bundu, Randall, JB and Wright, with Hardy up front. Liverpool, much changed, nearly all changed. Kelleher in goal, the 10 in front of him, different to that from Thursday night. Gomez, Quansah, Endo and Tsimikas. Elliott, McConnell and Yoni. Chiesa, Jota and Diaz, still formidable front three. Referee tonight, or this afternoon, is Sam Barrett. It's a glorious day. We're down here, just a few miles away from the Cornish border. The blue sky, a little bit of wispy cloud coming in overhead now, and a fair breeze as well. The flags on the top of the Lyndhurst Road stand on the far side are just portraying the fact that the wind is blowing quite strongly from right to left as we look at it in this first half. That's the way that Liverpool are going to be attacking, in their white shirts and black shorts, defending the Barn Park end away to our right-hand side, which houses the travelling Liverpool support. Argyle in their customary green shirts, white shorts and black socks. And they will be defending the Devonport end away to our left. Plymouth just in a huddle. Last few thoughts ahead of what for some is the biggest game in which they've yet played in their career. Liverpool just being made to wait for a moment. Plymouth now break away from that huddle. And goalkeeper Con Hazard makes his way back away to our left-hand side. So one cup final in the bag. Now Liverpool are chasing another. Their pursuit of the quadruple brings them to the southwest, top of the league, at the bottom of the championship. The free-scoring attack against the country's leakiest defence. A day when Pilgrim's Progress will be a story for the ages. But then this is the FA Cup, and you just never quite know. Tsimikas making his way up the left-hand touchline. Sorinola dealt with him. Gomez wins the loose ball and gets it forward into Plymouth territory, but Hazard can come to the edge of his penalty area and pick it up. He's come as a traffic cone today in the brightest fluorescent orange that you could wish to see. Plays the ball out towards Talksport, one of the new signings in this Plymouth side. Driven forward by him. Ball flicked on by Bundu. Hardy will give chase. He's in the penalty area. Ryan Hardy. Joe Gomez across to block it. And Puhatch can pick up a loose ball on the Plymouth left-hand side, but he can't get across in. But an early sign that Plymouth aren't here to make up the numbers, Scott.
Absolutely, very much on the front foot, and rightly so. We talked about how Music likes to be direct, not necessarily just complete long ball, but the ball up to Bundu there, who is playing up front. Hardy's playing off him with Wright on the other side. There's a little flick on there, and I just wondered if he could have, I don't know, it was almost like, has it come too early for him? A great opportunity to really be direct, get that first touch and get the shot off, and by the time he did, it was a good block from Joe Gomez, but good start from Plymouth.
And a long throw launched inside the Liverpool penalty area is repelled by Joe Gomez. Back from Talksport, who lit up Home Park on his debut last week. Already a firm favourite amongst the Argyle supporters. He's covered a lot of ground here to head the ball away. And Jota will watch it out for a throw that will be taken on the Liverpool left-hand side. As you say, Bundu playing through the middle for Plymouth. Hardy, who ordinarily has had that role, he came off the bench on the right-hand side to score his 3 goals against West Brom. So I guess it's no real surprise that he's just been asked to reprise what is a relatively unfamiliar role for him on the right of the forward three. He'll tuck in. He won't play as a conventional winger because they will do what they can to get Sorinola and Puhatch forward. But it is pretty much a 5-2-2-1 that Plymouth are utilising in these early stages. Diaz playing the ball back for Simicas with Talksport. 2.5 minutes in here in the Devon sunshine. Plymouth 0, Liverpool 0. On the day when Wolves have knocked Blackburn out of the FA Cup. And Swansea won at Bristol City in the Championship. Joe Gomez in possession for Liverpool inside his own half. Ball worked forward towards Endo, who will step forward from centre half. Just a little bit too much on that ball forward, which Chiesa give chase to, but it just rolls all the way through to goalkeeper Hazard. And Talksport didn't really want the ball at his feet with Diaz putting pressure on him, so he got it back to his goalkeeper quickly, and he booms it up the left-hand touchline looking for Callum Wright. JB can pick it up in the midfield, but loses out. Gomez working it to his left. Now Jota's got it. Diaz making a good run. Sorinola just deflected it out of his path. He's still got it, Luis Diaz. It's inside the Plymouth penalty area as he pulls it back for Nyoni, whose right-footed effort was on target, but blocked by Sorinola. And now Puhatch will be able to bring it away down the Plymouth left, but he just ran out of room, and it's gone out for a Liverpool throw.
Yeah, look, without the ball, it's definitely a 5, but with the ball, they are trying to push the wing-backs on. Famous last words, but I don't think we'll see any mistakes from Plymouth trying to play out from the back and the Liverpool press beating them. They'd be quite happy to go long at times. But I tell you now, you've got Puhatch on one side and Sorinola on the other. They will try and get forward whenever they possibly can.
A green balloon just bobbles onto the pitch. Did its best to tackle Luis Diaz, but he saw it coming. He works the ball infield towards Harvey Elliott. Space now for Simicas on the left. And Sorinola had stepped forward trying to play him offside. The ball worked in by Harvey Elliott, one back in the midfield by Bundu, only temporarily, but then he did well. Great show of strength, and he's worked it forward down the right-hand side for Hardy. Now he's got Callum Wright in the middle. First time ball across. Kelleher is able to gather it relatively cleanly. Just a little bobble, but he did enough getting there to divert it out of the path of Wright, and he could gather at the second attempt. 0-0.
Joe Gomez didn't look right for me there. I don't know what he was doing. They started when the ball was played in behind, pretty much alongside each other, him and Hardy, and by the end of it kind of backed off. It looked like it was slowing down, and almost when you're really, really tired, you think, don't try and chase the person that you know is quicker than you, just head towards, as the crow flies, towards the goal. And if I was Ryan Hardy now, I'd be saying, guys, get the ball over to me as much as possible in the hole and let me see if I can run him.
Well, it's interesting the way that Liverpool are playing. They haven't lined up defensively as we anticipated, because you alluded to there, Gomez is playing at centre-half on the left of the two centre-halves alongside Quansah. And McConnell will occasionally drop back in at right-back. And Endo, who has played at centre-half on occasion this season, is playing in his more customary defensive-minded midfield position. So it's almost the Manchester City formation, with McConnell playing the role as the inverted fullback coming into midfield.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, there might be times where Endo will have to drop in and make it a fort, and certainly he's able to do that. There's only sort of 10 yards, maybe even less than that, between the the back three and him, but you know, I do think there are spaces there to try and exploit, as we just saw by Hardy.
Plymouth have got a free kick for an offside. It's only about 10-15 yards outside their penalty area. They have lost each of their last 4 fourth-round ties. In fact, their last fourth-round win came away to League 2 Barnet back in 2007, so that's 18 years ago. And they made it through to the quarter-final that season. That's their only time in the last 16, so the only time they got to the 5th round, the last 37 years. Gomez just took a little chance on the edge of his own penalty area there. The ball that looks as though it's going to go through towards Kelleher. Gomez elected to play it and very nearly played his way into trouble. But it's gone out of play and it's going to be a Liverpool ball.
Sorry, Jim, he doesn't look right to me, Joe Gomez. He's just looking up to the sky there, and I don't know if he's got an injury or not quite 100% or doesn't feel right. Is he ill? But it doesn't look right for me. That his body language, he talked about attitude, and I would imagine he'd be one. I mean, he's captain today. He's leading the side. And for me, he's not quite showing what he should. Wait and see if there's a reason behind that.
Well, I mean, clearly I've not got your expertise in terms of playing, but you would almost think that he's looking and feeling unwell the way that he's playing, as opposed to it being an injury.
Yeah, he looks as if he's been ill and he's not quite right, and he doesn't want to have to make a sprint unless he really has to. And even just the way he walks around, he's not walking as if he's ready to really go in a football match.
Well, he's looking up to the heavens now, and he's got his hands on his hips. He's just, something's happened. He's not right, and I don't think he's going to be able to continue for long. Kwanzaa has just won a free kick, and Endo's taken it, and he just looked across to the Liverpool bench and has given it the, well, I'm not sure gesture with the shake of the hand. So
Arnie Slut was doing that. He's, thumbs up, thumbs down. What can you tell us? Clearly he's not been right. I just felt when that ball over the top, he's a bit like a Rolls Royce and should have just easily got past Ryan Hardy. He didn't, and not only did he not, but he just looked like a guy who was really struggling physically.
Sorinola has just been fouled, and it's a free kick which will be taken by Plymouth in the right back position. 8 minutes gone, and it's 0-0, and Arnie Slot appears to be indicating now that he's going to make a change, and Ronald Q. Joe Gomez has gone down. Well, hopefully this is nothing serious. Maybe it is an injury. Maybe he felt something go in the warm-up and they decided to give him the first 10 minutes or so. I don't know.
Possibly.
He's only just come back from injury, of course, himself.
He's not holding anything as if he's got a problem. I think he's got some kind of bug or sickness, or he's better than what we've seen in the first few minutes, certainly from a physical point of view, and he's not looked right almost from the start.
Well, Isaac Mabaya is the player that you would imagine would come on in terms of Gomez's replacement. Now, he's a right back by trade. They can shuffle things around if they have to. Gomez is receiving a little bit of treatment on the pitch, and presumably that is in a bid to make sure that they can get Mabaya up to speed before he comes on. And also, if there has to be a positional reshuffle as a result of this, just getting everybody on side with the changes that need to be made. But Mabaya's getting ready, and Gomez has just put his left arm to his brow, and he's still down receiving treatment, and he's going to be coming off in a moment, I think.
I tell you what, though, I mean, no one wants to see this, especially Joe Gomez, a fantastic player, started at Charlton, so just thought I'd chuck that one in. But Plymouth should be looking at this and thinking, in a team that's not got much experience, one of the most experienced players is just about to come off. This should act even more of a boost for Plymouth.
Well, do you remember Liverpool's recent away game at Brentford? Our producer here, Deck McCarthy's just reminded me that Gomez went off in that game because of illness, and they were forced into a change, and he's going to come off here. So, although he wouldn't have wanted it in these circumstances, Isaac Mabaya will be delighted. The fact that he's got a Liverpool debut coming up. He's made one appearance in the EFL Trophy for the 21s, but this is his first taste of senior football, and he'll come on 10 minutes into a big FA Cup tie here at Home Park. Gomez off, Mabaya on. What
a great opportunity for the lads. Fantastic opportunity to play for Liverpool Football Club in the first team. And yes, it's not your typical Premier League match by any stretch of the imagination, and he needs to be up for it mentally. I'm sure he will be. But let's see how he does in the first few minutes.
Plymouth who restart with a free kick of their own, work it over the top of Tsimikas, and Bundu chasing after it will get there down by the corner flag. Great little pirouette and turn from him, and he's won a corner off Tsimikas, the first of the day.
He's a handful. You know, he's big, he's strong, he's powerful, he's pretty quick as well. So if you try and get too close to him, and you're not really strong yourself, like Tsimikas, you certainly wouldn't say that's one of his attributes, can be rolled there, and he just got back. And again, and if you're one of the small sides, what's the best chance of scoring goals? Set pieces.
Now, Bundu, a player that they signed from Anderlecht, he made his name in Denmark. And he's taken up station inside the penalty area here. Left-footed in-swinging delivery from Puhac. Kelleher beats it away. Right-footed effort from JB. Came through a crowd, but not quite all of them. And so it's blocked. And then Talevierov will hammer the ball as far back the stand as he can. He's tried to take out the Plymouth badge on the big scoreboard at that corner of the ground. He didn't quite make it. And it's gone out of play for a throw, which will be taken over on the far side. So Liverpool's positional reshuffle, they're now effectively lining up the way we thought they would. So Mabea's playing at right back, Quansah alongside Endo at centre half, Tsimikas at left back, and McConnell is anchoring the midfield.
Exactly. So it's something they're used to, and it's almost like how they started off with something a little bit strange, and let's see how it works. But this is a bit more conventional, but still, it's a very inexperienced Liverpool side, and I think Plymouth done very well so far.
Talevierov getting the ball back to his goalkeeper. Hazard working it long. Tsimikas coming to meet that. Heads it away. Of course, the Tsimikas, you'll remember, the man that once scored the winning penalty in a shootout to win the FA Cup for Liverpool back in 2022. It's the only one of the last 12 finals that Liverpool have played in. They've got an excellent record in this competition over the years, but not much of it latterly. Here's McConnell driving through the midfield. Talevierov steps up, but can only get a block in. He can't win the ball back. Quick feet from Diaz has done really well. Nyoni will take over. Darko JB making life difficult for him, has fouled him. Just given Nyoni a little push. And the free kick is taken by the Liverpool youngster himself. Work back through the centre circle for Jarrod Quansah. Now to McConnell. McConnell back for Endo and down towards Tsimikas. That allows Liverpool to venture into Plymouth territory in the shadow in front of this main stand. Tsimikas with a high miss-hit cross. And he's gone straight behind Hazard's goal. Out of play for a goal kick with 13 minutes in. And it's Plymouth 0, Liverpool 0 here on Talksport. These are the thoughts of former FA Cup winner Scott Minto.
Well, I know Adrian Durham was a left back. That was one of his crosses there.
They couldn't hit it that hard. I played with it.
No, it was a really good opportunity, actually, and they worked it well down the left-hand side, and Tsimikas didn't really have any pressure. You know, Liverpool haven't got forward at all into the final third or creating any kind of chances, and that was an opportunity just to try and test the Plymouth goalkeeper and back three, back five as well, but it's a poor cross.
The latest in the cricket, incidentally, 222 for 3. Sharma's out for 119. We'll keep you updated. They're chasing 305 India and still well on course to win the second one-day international, which is live for you right now over on Talksport 2. Our man Sam Allard will be keeping us up to date. 222 for 3 at the end of 31. The ball back with Nyoni for Liverpool in their white shirts. The pass that was intended for Diaz just rolled past him. And Elliott turns away in dismay. It's gone out of play for a throw. Now there's a Plymouth player down injured inside his own penalty area. That could well be Katic that is down. I must admit, Scott, I didn't notice what put him there, whether that's an injury, something that happened in the previous Liverpool attack, but he's now down and being attended to by Plymouth medical staff inside his own penalty area. Yeah,
and he's put his hands to his face as well. I don't know if he's got caught, maybe. He's got caught by his own man, hasn't he, Randall? As Randall jumps up and heads the ball, he's got his left elbow up and just gets caught there.
That should be one that Katic is going to be able to get over, you would imagine. He's on loan from Zurich, made his debut last weekend. Talevierov to his right-hand side on loan from Lask Linz in Austria. He also made his debut last weekend, but he's got a bit of experience. He played in the last side that played against Liverpool in the Europa League last season, so he knows what it's about. Might not have too much experience of relegation battles, but as I mentioned earlier, they love him here. He's just turned and given a cheeky thumbs up, smile to the Plymouth fans and applauded. They've returned the compliment. there's a feel about Plymouth now that with the signings that have been made and the change in manager, that they might yet have a chance of getting out of trouble.
Well, these two centre-halves you've just been talking about have come in the January window, and Puhatch as well. And I heard you and Adrian were talking about the Scrabble and how many points you get from it. Not the way I've written it, phonetically.
No, a few more vowels in your spelling than there are in the real version.
But Puhatch is a really good player as well, and set pieces you can see with that great left foot. In open play he's very good. He likes to try and bomb one. He's a Polish international himself. So look, absolutely, when Muslic first came in, and I was at the game at the G-Tech where they won, and they played really well, they defended really well, and it was a fantastic goal from Morgan Whittaker. Obviously he's not here anymore, but since then the 3 home games that we all thought were crucial came around so quickly that Muslic in his first week had more games than he had training sessions. So where it didn't go well, and obviously Burnley, who don't even score, they scored 5 past them. Since then, actually, a really good draw at Sunderland and that win against West Brom has given them real belief they can get out of it.
Well, they're in possession now. Randall playing it out towards the left-hand side for Callum Wright. Just went behind him, had a play for a throw that the substitute Mabaya will take for Liverpool. It's 0-0 here on Talksport. He played 17 minutes. Katic is back on. He plays effectively as the sweeper. It's not a sweeper's role per se, but he's in the middle of the 3 centre-halves. He's all right. And Puhatch, who you were just talking about, he played in the German Cup final last season, so he knows what it's all about as well. He's also reached the semi-finals of cup competitions in Turkey and Poland. Katic did really well there. Heads the ball down for the aforementioned Puhatch, and he can hook it away from the edge of his own penalty area. Quansah wins it back on halfway for Liverpool. Lovely turn from McConnell. JB is snapping at his heels. Randall tried to win it back, and then he was caught by Nyoni, and he's received a yellow card, the Liverpool youngster. First of the game. Foul on Adam Randall. Well,
look, first of all, I just want to talk about the movement, actually, of Chiesa. They were 5 at the back, and yet he still just came off behind, in front of Puhatch, but behind the centre-halves there as well, and very nearly got in just with one 30-40 yard ball. It was brilliant movement from Chiesa from a full-back's point of view, whether I'm playing left-back or left wing-back. That from out to in is always very difficult, because you're looking at the ball, but you're not always looking at the man, so you've got to keep on looking, swivel head almost. And I'm sure Chiesa one side and Luis Diaz on the other will be looking to try and get that run, especially if they play a high 5.
Adam Randall will take this free kick for Plymouth. Raises his left arm above his head. He'll take it from just inside his own half, but ping it towards the edge of the penalty area where Katic goes up for it. Plegathuelo tried to get there first. He was second to it. Mabaya cleared past him. And then Quansah will head it on. Callum Wright returns it. Quansah heads that one away as well. It's a nice touch. First time volley pass from Harvey Elliott, sweeping the ball to his left towards this near touchline as Liverpool in their white shirts kick from right to left, defending the Barn Park end that houses the travelling supporters. Endo back in a centre half now, into the feet of McConnell and straight back again. Tsimikas forward. Nyoni just got caught off the ball there by Talivierov. I think that was a little hangover from the previous challenge on Randall in the midfield, which had seen him booked. Mabaya back for Quansah. Plymouth pressing from the front, and Bundu just made sure that Kelleher didn't have much time to dwell on the ball inside the 6-yard box. He's got it away, Quaveen Kelleher, but straight out of play for a throw that Sorinola is going to take for Plymouth. 0-0, and very little between them in the opening 19 minutes.
It's been an excellent 20 minutes for Plymouth. I'm sure that Miran Muslic is absolutely delighted. The only way it could have been better was to score a goal, but they haven't allowed Liverpool to play. They've looked dangerous at times. They've had the odd set piece, and they're pressing as much as possible and not giving Liverpool any time to play at their own tempo.
They've maybe had a little bit more of the ball than they would have anticipated as well, Plymouth, in the early stages of this game. Just having a look at the stats, it's only 30%. The eyes deceived me. I thought it was a little bit more than that. Well, they've had 2 of the 3 attempts that we've seen so far. Well, David's still waiting for its first shot on target here at Home Park. Endo in possession for Liverpool, 0-0 on Talksport with 20 gone.
I'll tell you what though, Jim, you don't always have to have the ball to be able to control the game. And I think even without the ball at times, they've looked very, very comfortable. So, yeah, don't look as in trouble at all so far.
Endo's got the ball at the back for Liverpool. Play to his right-hand side for Quansah, who is one of the few in this side that has actually played here at home park before. He was in the Bristol Rovers team, beaten here a couple of years ago. Joe Gomez, who's gone off because of illness very early in this game, played here the last time the two sides met in the FA Cup back in 2017 when Lucas Leiva scored the only goal to get Liverpool through. Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool were third in the Premier League at the time, beating Derek Adams' Plymouth, who were chasing promotion that season. Promotion from League 2 to League 1. Endo with a long ball forward. Diaz is going to chase after it. Talavierov, did he get enough on it? Well, the referee said he did, and then it goes out of play for a goal kick. It's a rumbustious challenge with a capital R. He just got there first, and there was a split second in it. The ball smacked straight at Diaz from the closest of close ranges. Talavierov then read the situation, realised he got the touch, and could just let it roll over the line innocuously for a goal kick.
I think that's a foul. I don't think he's got much of the ball there at all, and he's got plenty of Luis Diaz, but actually it's the type of tackles we kind of love to see, and in the FA Cup, and he's definitely one of those. While Katic is the more quiet leader, Talavierov, he almost celebrates every tackle, and Pontus Jansson in that kind of style, really.
Long ball forward from Puhac. Hardy's going to chase it through the middle, straight through for Kelleher, who can come out and catch it, and then just bowls it with a minimum of fuss down towards Endo. Liverpool coming into this on the back of just 2 defeats in 33 games in all competitions. They've won 17 out of the 23 league games they played this season, but not necessarily got their work cut out here, but they're not having it their own way by any stretch of the imagination. Katic across on halfway to cover for Plymouth, heads the ball past Chiesa, and straight out of play for a throw that Liverpool will take midway inside the Plymouth half. Chiesa trying to nick a few yards, and those in the Lyndhurst Road stand just told him. He takes it from almost the right place. Then plays it back for Mabaya. He in turn for Quaveen Kelleher. He booms it right-footed towards halfway. Katic with a good header, climbing over Jota to win it. And JB sticks his foot on the ball in the midfield. And then Puhac will play it back for Plegafuelo, the Spaniard controlling it, and just safety at first. Goes all the way back for Hazard, and Liverpool don't think about putting any press or pressure on him at all.
No, it's really interesting that Plymouth are going for the press. They are trying to be high intensity because they do want the ball to be knocked long. And Diogo Jota's not your 6'4" centre forwards, and then with these 3 centre halves as well, Plymouth can win that all day long. So again, we go back to then the midfield. Are they comfortable enough? Are they experienced enough? Are they, composed enough to say, yeah, I may be young, but I'm maybe playing for Liverpool first team. People around the country and around the world are watching, but I'm going to play how I played in the academy, how I played all my career so far. Up until now, they're not able to get on the ball, and I think Plymouth are more than happy with how the first 20 minutes have gone.
No, this is something that we touched on the other night. Some of the now 28 games that Plymouth have got left this season, including this one, are going to be more important than others in the pursuit of the quadruple, and this is one that is very important because there's no margin for error. The only margin for error being extra time or your ability in a penalty shootout if necessary. But this is a must-not-lose game for Liverpool as they chase this unprecedented quadruple. Plegafuelo in possession for Plymouth. And here's Scott Minto.
Yeah, I mean, Liverpool obviously got a massive game in the Merseyside derby coming up in a few days' time. But they, of course they don't want to lose it, but they can afford to lose it. They can't afford to lose this, which I'm not surprised the amount of changes that's been made. They need to set themselves up the next sort of 5 games, actually, and because they've got through to the final as well, now the Villa game has been moved. So that means now they've got 5 games in 15 days, and within a short space of time, instead of having a game in hand, they'll actually have an extra game on top having played. So it's really important, but in the league they can afford to lose or drop points. You're right, in the FA Cup they can't. Bad performance, you're out, and that's why it surprised me a little bit. Not so much the 11, but the substitute bench.
Yep, they go to Everton Wednesday. It's live on Talksport. They go to Villa the following Wednesday, the 19th. It's live on Talksport. You won't hear either of those games anywhere else on national radio. Sorinola is in possession. Get an update from the rugby in a moment. Bundu tried to play it back for Sorinola. Tsimikas got there first. It was a well-intentioned but misdirected flick. And it goes out of play for a throw. Six Nations action this afternoon. Scotland, Ireland, here's Talksport Stuart Cameron.
Scotland 0, Ireland 7. Been a frantic start from both sides, having early opportunities to run the ball, with Ireland getting the opening score. 7 minutes, Calvin Nash found loads of space out on the right, dotted down, converted by Sam Prendergast. It's 7-0 to Ireland.
Thanks, Stuart. You're listening to FA Cup Game Day live on Talksport with Carling, the official beer partner of the Emirates FA Cup. 18 plus, please drink responsibly. Sorinola with a cross inside the penalty area, that's blocked, and then he can't control it as the loose ball comes back in his direction, and it goes out of play for a Liverpool throw. Listening to Talksport, and of course we welcome our listeners across North America on Sirius XM FC. Very good morning to you wherever you're listening across Canada and the United States. 0-0 here in Devon, the southwestern corner of England. Chiesa playing the ball back. Mabaya to McConnell, who's been more than happy just to show for the ball whenever is necessary. He's very elegant, doesn't look fazed by the challenge ahead, despite the fact it's just the third Liverpool start today. Ball play forward by him to Nyoni, who's making only his second. Kwanzaa now, and to Chiesa. Federico Chiesa threatening to cross, then just pulls the ball back. McConnell linking up the play. Goes back for Kwanzaa. Plymouth getting hemmed in towards the edge of their own penalty area. Haven't seen that too often so far. Tsimikas is in possession. Luis Diaz cutting inside. Plays a little give and go with Harvey Elliott. Didn't get the return ball. Elliott thought that getting it back towards Tsimikas was a better bet, but he couldn't beat Hardy with it. And he drove it straight at the Scotsman's chest. And Plymouth are able to bring it away, and now will be able to step up with their line of five, getting out nearer towards the centre circle. Yeah,
it's the first time in the game that Liverpool are having an extended amount of possession and pushing Plymouth back as well. They're getting the ball wide, is coming inside. Harvey Elliott, I thought he might have come even more inside, but he tried to play it back out from where it came from. But it's been some time now that since Plymouth had the ball, and when they have had the ball, they're almost just trying to kick it away.
Nyoni to Tsimikas. Nyoni in possession again. Jarrell Kwanzaa can come forward and very quickly is 25 yards inside Plymouth territory. Played it out towards Diogo Jota, who peeled away towards the right-hand touchline. Man who made his comeback from injury on Thursday. And it's gone out for a Liverpool throw. Jota 2 goals in his last 3 games. He was in good form before injury struck.
He's a quality player, he's a quality finisher. I think he's the best finisher at the club. And that's with Mo Salah there as well. Mo Salah, and obviously one of the Premier League legends, one of Liverpool's best ever players. And the way he continually gets himself in positions and just scores for fun. But I don't know if I'm in the minority here, but 94th minute, he got to score to stay in a game. I'd actually take Jota.
No, it's interesting. I'm not saying you're wrong, but I don't think it's an opinion that will be universally held. Salah 237 goals for Liverpool, but not here today. He and Virgil van Dijk and many of the big hitters, not all of them, given the day off, with Wednesday's Merseyside derby at Goodison, the last ever Merseyside derby at Goodison Park, certainly in the Premier League. Well, in fact, now that Everton have been knocked out of the Cup, the last ever Merseyside derby, it's going to be live here on Talksport. Pleguezuelo chasing out towards the far touchline. Chiesa tried to flick the ball past him, couldn't get it past him, goes out of play for a throw. Taken short towards Harvey Elliott. Now James McConnell, the 20-year-old who played more than half an hour in the League Cup final last season, just works it out towards the Liverpool right. Mabaya. I thought that he might have won a corner for a moment, but he hasn't. Didn't take a touch of Pleguezuelo, goes out of play for a goal kick that Connor Hazard will take. So we're 29 minutes in, and it's still Plymouth 0, Liverpool 0.
Yeah, first and foremost, well done Plymouth. You're a third of the way through the 90 minutes anyway, and kept a clean sheet so far. But just in the last 5 minutes, I feel that Liverpool are starting to dominate possession. If Plymouth are a 3 at the back, and there's space in the channels, and they're playing the ball, crossfield balls to the wide players, and if they've dropped in the 5, then there's space in front to play in midfield, and that's what Liverpool's starting to do now.
Incidentally, Katic, who you remember ended up wearing the arm of his captain Adam Randall, had a tooth knocked out in that particular collision. So that's going to take a little bit of sorting out tomorrow. Bundu. Oh, he got there ahead of Tsimikas and works the ball through the middle. Try to roll it in towards Callum Wright. Puhach from distance. That's blocked by Mabaya on the edge of the penalty area. Peels at the ball, hit an arm. It was outside the box anyway, and I don't think it did. He'll be able to bring the ball back towards Jarrell Quansah. But the Plymouth fans like that. That's the first time, really, that they've been able to show any sense of adventure over the last 7 or 8 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. After that really good start, we talked about how Liverpool are starting to dominate. Just give the fans a little bit of something, get the atmosphere going again. Do that pressing that you did in the early part of the game, even if you couldn't get a shot on target.
There's Puhach once more, controlling the ball on the left flank, but working it back to his goalkeeper. Now let me point in the direction of the latest episode of Danny Kelly's Trans-Euro Express. The podcast available now. Danny joined by Andy Brassel. They'll take you on a journey through all of the major stories this weekend across the continent. And the show itself on the radio tonight between 9 and 12. Looking forward to listening to that as I make my way home. Danny Kelly's Trans-Europe Express. The ball goes out of play for a throw that will be taken over on the far touchline. Let's get a cricket update from Sam Ellard.
India 248 for 3, needing just 60 runs from 92 balls. Rohit Sharma with a century, 119 from just 90 balls before smashing a Livingston full toss high in the air to Rashid at mid-on. Axar has 18, Shreyas Iyer has 39. There's live commentary on Talksport 2. India now need 57 from 90 balls.
Sam, thank you. Ball inside the penalty area for Ryan Hardy, coming from Callum Wright, and it's cleared. And goes out towards the far touchline. Plegafuelo stands his ground twice and beats Chiesa the second time of asking. Puhach getting it in. Good shape on the delivery, which almost cleared Endo. Hardy was there lurking. It's cleared then by Tsimikas from outside his own penalty area for Liverpool. And Diaz works it through the midfield. Talavierov dealing with Jota. Just came towards him. Eyes out on stalks, and it was almost enough to put Jota off.
Well, that's exactly what happens, and Jota should have been able to hold the ball up. From the physical presence, you can see that already Diogo Jota doesn't really want to have that battle there, so there's definitely one up for Talavierov.
Long ball smacked forward. Bundu trying to flick it. Oh, he might get it back inside the penalty area, trying to wriggle his way past Tsimikas. Referee says no foul. Bundu going down, Tsimikas ending up on the deck as well. The referee said play on. There's no VAR, as you're aware. And Liverpool working straight up the other end. Diaz inside the penalty area. Sorinola's done really well to hold him up. Plymouth got the shake back. Nyoni to Elliott. Elliott on the edge of the box, lets fly. Straight at Katic's mouth. He'll be happy with that. Got in the way, though. Got it clear without the need for any more dentistry. Harvey Elliott picking it up again in a slightly deeper position in the midfield. Still 0-0. Elliott again. He's in a central area. Down towards Tsimikas, who will venture to within 10 yards of the edge of the box. Luis Diaz now in possession for Liverpool. The odd quick step over, not fooling Sorinola. Quansah, good first time ball from him out towards Federico Chiesa. Chiesa right outside of the penalty area. Elliott is there, pulled back. Mabaya with the ball in, just took a touch off Katic's head and piqued the interest of the Liverpool players coming in at the far post, because he didn't get as much on it as he wanted. But Plymouth can get it away. Not having very much of the ball at all now, Argyle. It is all Liverpool, but Plymouth are doing well to repel the pressure and make sure that it's not allied to a steady succession of shots coming in on goal. It still isn't, and hasn't had a save to make so far.
No, not yet. I'm just watching replays of the possible penalties. Good decision from the referee, Sam Barrett. Not a penalty for me. Definitely a coming together between the two in the box, Bundu and Tsimikas, and no, not a pen at all. I just want to touch on Sorinola as well, where the ball was pinged out to Luis Diaz. He had the most delicious first touch, and then suddenly it's 1-on-1, and he was happy to go inside, outside, and Sorinola was going with him every time. And you mentioned that, and you're absolutely right, because that's not an easy thing to do. You don't really want to be having a 1-on-1 situation with Luis Diaz, but he dealt with that really well.
And McConnell's in possession for Liverpool. They've only got past this stage in the competition in 9 of the last 23 seasons. Only got past round 5 in 4. of the last 23. The 21st century has not been good, with the odd notable, very notable exception in the FA Cup for Liverpool. Is Randall, Hardy, Sorinola. Oh, that was really good at close quarters from Plymouth, but they then gave it away. And Liverpool bring it forward again with Elliott. Level the edge of the penalty area. Diaz with a no-look ball in towards Nioni. He didn't read it. It's cleared out for McConnell. Right-footed deflected effort. Hazard with his first save of the afternoon. Relatively comfortable. Dive to his left. Got a left hand to it. Beat it away. Mopped up in front of him. And put out by Puhac for a Liverpool throw.
Yeah, it's a save he should be making for sure. Again, Liverpool just having more and more possession, and Plymouth, when they win the ball back, at the moment they're not keeping it, they're just kind of getting rid of it, and it's either coming to a midfielder who's not able to hold the ball up, or Bunda himself is not able to, and it just keeps coming back. Can't keep on defending like this.
Endo to Diaz to Tsimikas, flighted inside the penalty area, headed away by Plegathuelo. Sorinola stopped it going out of play for a corner, but in doing so just presented it straight to Luis Diaz. Hardy did well to force Diaz back towards halfway. Endo now can turn, and Liverpool play the way that they're facing again. Kwanzaa with the ball over the top, that's overhit. And we'll go through to Conor Hazard. Now, the defensive record, Plymouth's, isn't great. Just the worst out of the 92 clubs in the EFL. They've led in 63 in 30 games. They did keep a clean sheet at Brentford.
Who's second on that list?
I won't mention Peterborough by name for fear of incurring the wrath of our esteemed colleague. Listen, to support a team in the league. I can't talk. Ball forward from Tsimikas to Diaz. Back towards Jota. JB just beaten to it by McConnell. And then Talavierov will knock a long ball forward that Kwanzaa's going to get to first for Liverpool back inside his own half. But for all the fact that they have let in more than 2 goals a game, this remodelled defensive lineup, completely different to how it was a month ago when the transfer window opened, have been really sound so far.
Just about to say just that, Jim. It looks a completely different side, and you could argue with a new manager coming in, different style, players, 3 of the back 5 are different. Absolutely looks different, looks very, very good.
Diaz with the ball in. Talavierov beaten by Jota. Jota pulling it back. Talavierov and Kadic between them could scramble it clear for a corner. Liverpool's first.
And that's what 3 centre-halves can do. Get close to each other. If he does go past one, then you come over and you help. Sorinola tucked in as well, so even though Jota went past Talavierov, he still had a lot to do. Really good defending again.
It's given Liverpool this first corner. Plymouth had one in the early stages. Tsimikas is going to take it. Hazard stands, arms above his head inside his 6-yard box. A little bit of pushing and shoving going on in front of him. The corner was worked short, and then it's headed away by Talavierov and out for another corner. And Tsimikas again coming across to take it, and once more he's worked it short for Luis Diaz on the left-hand side of the box. Ball just stops for a moment. Sorinola again doing well to hold him up. The ball played across the edge of the area for a left-footed howitzer from Harvey Elliott, and that was blocked. And the referee has given Plymouth a free kick for something he saw just outside the penalty area.
I wonder if Talavierov gets paid per high five or sort of fist pumping to the fans. He does it every single time, doesn't it? It does get the fans going. The fans love it.
Well, if he does, he'll be able to buy the Barbican in town tomorrow morning.
But I'll tell you what, he's been a great addition. Kadic also. And those figures, they look terrible, and they are terrible, and that does explain why Plymouth are where they are right now. But you feel that's not right now, and going forward as well, and where they felt perhaps the Plymouth fans that we're going to go down, this is the season, we got away with it last year, we're going down now. There's real belief that they can do that, and still plenty of time. We talk about the Everton game being a big one for Liverpool, the Millwall game midweek is a big one for Plymouth.
Absolutely, and any Argyle fan will tell you that that's the more important one. If they could choose which game to win this week, it would be that one, not this one. But they've laid a solid foundation in this one. Goal kick was taken by, or the free kick, was taken by Conor Hazard moments ago, and every single outfield player was concentrated within 3 yards of the halfway line either side. Ball played for by Elliott. Goes out towards the right-hand side. Pleguezuelo in really strongly to clear. And Spaniard, who had some time as a youngster at Arsenal. Ball out for a throw. Elliott trying to win the second ball. Pleguezuelo's dealt with that one as well, and it goes out for another throw, which will be taken by Liverpool. In fact, took a little nick on his way out, and it's going to be a Plymouth throw.
You can see he loves it, doesn't he? He loves defending. There's not a lot of defenders nowadays, not even just at the very top, but in the EFL that actually love defending. And you've got 3 defenders who love to head it, kick it, and are not afraid to get rid of it if they have to.
There's Puhach, forward towards Callum Wright, a former Leicester man who's certainly due a goal, 50-odd games with that one. And he's made his way forward here, chests it down, and it's a nudge past him. Made good ground, goes out of play for another throw that Puhach is going to go across to take. In fact, I think he'll leave it for Pleguezuelo, who has got a half-decent long throw on him. He picks up another match ball over on that far touchline. One of the yellow ones that is being used for the FA Cup this weekend. Raises his left arm above his head. Plymouth with plenty of bodies forward in the near half of the penalty area. Right-footed effort comes in from JB as he was nodded down to him by Katic, and he made it really cleanly. He had power, but he didn't have the precision to go with it.
Well, absolutely. Get the ball in the box, try and see if he can win the knockdowns. It came to him. And yes, he had to take it first time, but he should be hitting the target. It's not as if someone's right in front of him there. And okay, if he gets blocked, he gets blocked, but just that last second, just keep yourself composed, hit the target. You never know what can happen.
Tsimikas back inside his own penalty area for Endo, with 3 minutes away from half-time. And the first 15 minutes of the game were substantially delayed because of the injury to Katic and the problem that Joe Gomez had, so he could easily have 5 added minutes at the end of this half. A yellow card is going to be shown here by referee Barrett for one of the Liverpool players. I don't know whether that was kicking the ball away or a little bit too much back chat. Yeah, it's kicking the ball away, and it's the young substitute Mabaya who stopped Plymouth taking a throw-in quickly once the ball had gone over the line by just putting his foot through it, and then it goes out of play. A couple of minutes to go to half-time. We're expecting actually 3 minutes, I'm told, of additional time. Ball thrown in, Katic trying to flick it on, couldn't get there. Pleguezuelo hooking a high ball in, Bundu was offside, and it's a free kick to Liverpool inside their box. 0-0.
Just a bit of a soft yellow card, isn't it? You come on, you're a little bit nervous, and maybe you're a lot nervous. You've done well so far, but just a soft yellow card. So now for the rest of the game, don't mistime a tackle. It's in your head as a fullback. Don't mistime a tackle.
Plymouth 0, Liverpool 0. Don't forget, after us, it's Aston Villa against Tottenham. Then Majestic and Alan Pardew will open the lines at 7:30, giving you the chance to have your say on all the events across the day. You can get involved, as always, on 03717 22 33 44. Then later tonight, Super Bowl 59 taking place on Talksport. Live from New Orleans as the Kansas City Chiefs and Philadelphia Eagles go head-to-head for the Vince Lombardi Trophy. It's the Chiefs against the Eagles, Super Bowl 59, live on Talksport tonight at 10:30. You'll also be able to watch our commentary team calling the action live on the Talksport Endzone YouTube channel and on your smart TV. Not just live football, but more live football than anybody else. Nice combination. Endo going all the way back to his goalkeeper. Kelleher's able to pick it up. He hasn't had a difficult save to make either so far. Just the one shot on target for each team. Endo playing it back for Kelleher, who can take a touch and then roll it to the right-hand side of the penalty area. Kwanzaa does likewise. He plays it forward. McConnell into the feet of Elliott. Back to Endo. Out to Tsimikas. Tsimikas will turn, try and get away from Adam Randall in the heart of the midfield and hit a lofty ball out to the right-hand side for Isaac Mabaya, the young substitute who came on for Joe Gomez, who was ill in the early stages of the game. Back from Mabaya again. Kwanzaa's got it. Plymouth just keeping an eye, keeping Liverpool at arm's length, not really engaging until the ball comes down towards the left-hand side for Luis Diaz. Sorinola And watches it go past him, back into a central area. Nyoni. Oh, that's a good ball from him, out towards Chiesa. He's going to have to scamper to keep it in, and ultimately stopping it going out of play for a throw. He put it out of play for a goal kick, which wasn't his intention. But great vision from Trey Nyoni in the midfield. Yeah, we were talking, you and I, before the game started about Nyoni, what exactly is he in terms of a midfielder? You got your answer.
Yeah, absolutely. I like his movement as well, finding a bit of space. It's very difficult to find pockets of space when you're up against a 5-4-1, and he sort of came inside, received the ball, carried on going inside. Harvey Elliott found him again. I'm not quite sure that Chiesa was the guy he was actually trying to aim for initially, but it found his way out to him, but he wasn't quite able to keep it in. But that's what Nyoni needs to be doing a little bit more, just passing it in the midfield, having little relationships there, and then if you can get the ball out wide. Diaz looks dangerous. Chiesa at the moment has been quite quiet, and so has Jota, but we know how good he can be.
We played the first of the 3 additional minutes at the end of this first half. You listen to FA Cup Game Day live on Talksport with Carling, the official beer partner of the Emirates FA Cup. 18 plus, please drink responsibly. And Liverpool have the ball at their feet. That's been an ongoing theme, as you would imagine. 76% possession they've had over the 45 minutes as a whole, and the advantage has steadily increased as the game has gone on, but haven't really been able to do too much with it. It's that one shot on target that Hazard was able to make a relatively comfortable save from. Colin Hazard, a man that won the Scottish Cup back in his Celtic days, the Northern Ireland international. Here's Quansah. Nado Endo. Game going through just a little bit of a lull as the end of lap 1 approaches. Quansah. Knocked to his right-hand side. Now Mabaya put under pressure by Wright. Just had to hurriedly chase back and guide the ball back for his goalkeeper. Kelleher in all purple with the bright yellow gloves. Just plays it out towards Endo. And Endo now to his right-hand side for Jarell Quansah. Endo again. Tsimikas. Yarding from the left-hand touchline. Plymouth more than happy just to contain for the moments that remain. Try to stop Liverpool being able to launch one last attack, but a good ball between the lines from Quansah out towards Elliott might enable them to do exactly that. Mabaya. Wright is in there. Elliott's still got it and maintains possession, but Wright did well to hold him up and force Elliott to play an awkward ball through the midfield that was a very effective pass. Luis Diaz has it now, coming in off the left-hand touchline for Liverpool. Back from him to Endo. 3 additional minutes almost up. McConnell to Tsimikas, and the referee says that'll do. And listen to the ovation from the Plymouth support. They might be bottom of the championship, but they have been really game so far. They've given Arne Slot's men plenty to think about. They've hardly given them a side of goal. Half-time, we're still no closer to knowing who will be in round 5, because it's Plymouth 0, Liverpool 0.
Well, we're waiting for a big shot. Could it be here? And we mentioned that the Liverpool team, is shorn of stars, like Van Dijk's not playing, he's not even here. Mo Salah having a big rest. A lot of those midfield players that have started for Liverpool this season are having a rest as well. Scott Minto, they're going to have to bring on Curtis Jones in this second half, because I think that really hasn't worked. They've got a terrific front 3, Liverpool. They've not had anywhere near enough service from a midfield that's simply not good enough for this level. As Jim just said, over 76% possession, Liverpool. They've had 1 shot on target. And in fact, overall, Plymouth have had more efforts on goal than Liverpool. This is not good enough from Liverpool.
No, it's not. And we said it at the start of the game, looking at it. OK, you can maybe understand the fact that it's a very young team, or they've rested the big boys with a big games, 5 games in 15 days to come. But, you do look at the bench, and I know you're a massive fan of Curtis Jones, aren't you? He's a really good player. He's a big talent. I think he will add that experience in that midfield, because at the moment, we talked about Harvey Elliott being the experienced one. It's almost like he's better when the big boys are around and he can play his little 1-2s. At the moment, James McConnell, who started off almost on the kind of right-hand side, but then when Mabaya came on, played his normal role as a holding. He's just kind of sitting there, and you're asking Elliott and Nyoni to try and do something between them and get the ball out wide, and they're just not doing it at the moment. So I wouldn't be surprised at all. The last thing Arne Slot would want is to go to extra time. So I wouldn't be surprised, if not a half-time, then 10-15 minutes in, Curtis Jones and Darwin Nunez come on, because they've got to try and win this game. Well, they have to win the game, but they've got to try and win it within 90 minutes as well.
Well, you've talked about those defenders for Plymouth that love defending, and we've seen that. One's had a tooth knocked out. He loves defending that much.
By his own mate.
In the first half. Darwin Nunez would probably relish that battle, I suspect.
I think he could handle it better. You know, Darwin Nunez, the physical specimen that he is, I don't think he really loves the physical side of things, but he's able to do it certainly a lot better than Diogo Jota. And these three are absolutely... I mean, it'd be disrespectful to say they're head it, kick it. They're better than that. They can get the ball down and they can pass, but they're being told, look, we don't want to mess around it here, and it's absolutely the right thing to do. So whenever there's pressure on them, they get the ball a little bit longer. But from a defensive point of view, they're all over you like a rash. And at the moment, Diogo Jota is not getting a touch of the ball. He's one of those players that only needs one touch in the box and suddenly bang, goal. But is that going to come, and does Arne Slot wait for that? Because at the moment, we're not seeing it, are we?
We are not. As for Plymouth, just a quick one on them. They have been game. They have gone forwards. They have had kind of half chances without clear-cut chances. There was the penalty moment after about half an hour. Bundu bundled his way through into the box and went down. You said in commentary, no pen. And I think most people would agree with you. However, there is no VAR, and I think the referees generally... You know, people might criticise me for saying this, but I think generally their default position is, if it's a bit dubious, don't give a penalty. VAR will sort it out. That might have been in the ref's mind. That was possibly questionable, I think.
I'm going to criticise you for saying that.
Why?
No. You're absolutely right, Aid. I mean, even more with no VAR, the referees have to be certain that it's a penalty. And you know, I looked at the replay and I still didn't think it was a penalty. So in real time, fast speed, you can't give that. You really can't. But that's what they have to do. They have to get balls in the box. They have to try and win knockdowns. We've already seen Joby have a shot after a long throw and a knockdown. Bundu has had a couple of half chances as well. So too Hardy. Try and get back to how you were in the first 10 minutes. Because although Liverpool haven't been very good and they've been a bit toothless in the final third, they are starting to boss the game in terms of possession. And there's only so much you can run around for. And then you start to get tired, and then the openings do start to appear.
Goalless. The Premier League leaders, the best team in the Champions League this season, Liverpool, are being held by the side at the bottom of the Championship, live and exclusive and only on Talksport. Plymouth 0, Liverpool 0, second half to come. Let's check in on the cricket. Sam Ellards.
India cruising to victory, 275 for 4 from 40 overs, needing just 30 runs, 59 balls left. They've got two batsmen who are set and are playing it pretty comfortably. KR, the experienced batsman, unbeaten on 10. Axar 30 not out. India in control of the run chase. That's because the two guys at the top of the order, Rohit Sharma and Shubman Gill, put on 136 runs inside just 16 overs to get India well ahead of the game. Shubman Gill was bowled by Jamie Overton for 60, but the captain, Rohit Sharma, he pushed on to score his 32nd one-day international 100, eventually out for 119. The last wicket was a run-out, Joss Buttler riding out Shreyas Iyer, but unfortunately for England, it won't matter. India now needing just 30 runs from 58 balls. Live commentary on Talksport 2.
Well, earlier on Talksport, it finished Blackburn 0, Wolverhampton Wanderers 2. We'll be hearing from John Eustace in this half-time break. Here it's Plymouth 0, Liverpool 0. Elsewhere, Swansea won at Bristol City in the Championship. Scottish Cup 5th round, Aberdeen beat Dunfermline 3-0. Rangers Queen's Park is goalless so far. Women's FA Cup 5th round, Liverpool are through. They won 2-0 at Rugby Borough. Palace with 2 late goals beat Newcastle 2-0. So far in the other FA Cup 5th round ties, it's Arsenal 2, London City Lionesses 0. Man City 3, Leicester 1, Bunny Shaw on the score sheet. Portsmouth 0, Sunderland 2 in an all-championship game. And Chelsea fell behind to Everton, but they now lead 2-1. Sonia Bonpastor's side. And talking to the Women's FA Cup, Alan Brazil back on breakfast on Wednesday. It's Jeff Stelling and Ali McCoist tomorrow at 6 a.m. White and Jordan tomorrow at 10 a.m. Martin Keown on the show with White and Jordan. Martin Keown, who called Stefan Ortega, the City keeper, Arteta on telly yesterday. He is so Arsenal, it is unbelievable. He's on from 10 tomorrow morning with White and Jordan on Talksport. Second half to come here at Home Park, where it's Plymouth 0, Liverpool 0.
The Emirates FA Cup, live on Talksport with Carling.
And that's one back.
Get your mates together and enjoy the match with Carling, the beer of football. 18 plus, always drink responsibly.
Meet John.
Hello.
It's Friday night, and he's just dented his partner's new car. Now he's wondering if he can make a claim before she gets back home on Monday. Thankfully, John's got car insurance with Aviva. We're available for new claims around the clock, so John can sort this out right away. Telling your partner is up to you though, John.
Darling?
Helping you put the pieces together to get you back on track. It takes Aviva. Get a quote today at aviva.co.uk.
Let's stop there. Being a soldier, it's exciting. You already know that. What you want to know is, what's in it for me? I wanted to learn leadership skills from the experts.
I wanted to get paid to earn qualifications.
I wanted more confidence. And now look, I'm on the radio. That's what was in it for me.
Get skills, get qualified, get confident. Army, recruiting now, search Army jobs.
Rollback is back at Asda, with thousands of prices rolled back across the store and online, including 1 kilogram of sweet potatoes was £1.19, now just 98p.
And for recipes the whole family will love, like my delicious slow cooker sweet potato hot pot. Find Joe Wick's meal picks at asda.com.
Helping you make your midweek meals for less. That's Asda price. Selected stores online subject to availability. May exclude Asda Express and small stores. See asda.com/small stores. Online charges may apply.
Britain. Get fast access to diagnosis and treatment at your local Nuffield Health Hospital. Whether you want to get back to your best or back to what you love most, our flexible payment options mean you don't have to wait for the treatment you need. You can either pay now or spread the cost of your treatment over time. This February, let's go. Search Nuffield Health Hospitals to book an appointment today. Acceptance is subject to status. Terms and conditions apply. More information available on our website.
Total football.
Oh, and he's found the net!
Game day.
Brilliant strike!
Live football coverage that's beyond compare.
FA Cup Game Day exclusive on Talksport.
FA Cup weekend on Talksport. We've got loads of fourth round ties for you. We're in the middle of one. It's Plymouth 0, Liverpool 0, live and exclusive on Talksport. Let's remind you what's happened in the first half in partnership with Carling.
Emirates FA Cup half-time highlights on Talksport with Carling. Brilliantly refreshing from the first sip to the last. 18 plus, always drink responsibly.
To the biggest city in England never to have enjoyed top-flight football, a fact which adds an extra dimension to any visit of Premier League opposition. Left-footed in, swinging delivery from Puhatch. Kelleher beats it away. Right-footed effort from JB. Came through a crowd, but not quite all of them. Smack forward. Bundu trying to flick it. Oh, he might get it back inside the penalty area. Trying to wriggle his way past Tsimikas. Referee says no foul. Bundu going down. Tsimikas ending up on the deck as well. The referee said play on. It might be bottom of the Championship, but they have been really game so far. They've given Arne Slot's men plenty to think about. They've hardly given them a side of goal. Half-time, we're still no closer to knowing who will be in round 5, because it's Plymouth 0, Liverpool 0.
Just the one shot on target for Liverpool. That was thanks to Carling. 18 plus. Please drink responsibly.
Emirates FA Cup half-time highlights on Talksport with Carling, the official beer partner of the Emirates FA Cup. 18 plus, always drink responsibly.
Half-time in the rugby, Scotland 5, Ireland 17. When we're done here at 5:15, as long as we don't go to extra time or penalties, attentions will turn to Aston Villa against Tottenham, which is live on Talksport. Mark Wilson is your commentator for the game at Villa Park, and obviously there's new signings for Aston Villa, including Marcus Rashford, so we'll get the team news from you as soon as it comes out, Mark. But what are you expecting from the game?
Oh, I'm expecting a wide open game, plenty of goals. Obviously Spurs have got a really good record. Is it 9 of the last 10 they've won here, but this is an understrength Spurs. We all know that. How can they react to that loss, that humiliation, if you like, at Liverpool in midweek? For Villa, just want to make it through to the 5th round. It's been 7 years since they were last at that stage, so I'm expecting an open game. I think Villa come into it slightly the better, despite the fact that we're missing the likes of Ollie Watkins here today. Will Marcus Rashford start? We're none the wiser. We're getting mixed messages at the moment, so we'll find out.
We'll get that team news from you as soon as it's out. Mark Wilson, thank you very much. When that commentary of Villa Spurs is done, we've got Villa Spurs on the final word, because Majestic is a Spurs fan, Gabby Agbonlahor, a Villa legend. They'll be taking your calls after that game is finished on Talksport. And it's actually Gabby on with Jeff Stelling tomorrow morning from 6 a.m. on breakfast. Premier League, Wolves knocked out Blackburn 2-0 earlier today, live on Talksport. John Eustace, the Blackburn manager, linked with the Derby job after they sacked Paul Waugh on Friday. He was asked about those links by Talksport's Adam Bridge.
You're in a good position with Blackburn Rovers right now. You've just seen your players pitching against the Premier League side, and they adapted themselves incredibly well. So the idea of moving probably is something that you hadn't considered?
Well, I certainly hadn't, no. Obviously, it's something that I wasn't aware of, and it's a discussion we'll have to have with the owners now, and see what happens.
Is it a discussion you'll seek with the owners, or are you happy and content where you are?
Oh yeah, I'm happy where I am, of course I am, but ultimately, if there's been an official approach, we'll have to discuss and find out what's going on.
Well, that's said it all from John Eustace, hasn't it? There is a discussion to be had after Derby's approach to Blackburn for the services of John Eustace as manager. Scott Minto, I can't say I was expecting him to be that forthright and open about that.
Do you know what? There's diplomacy, and then and you can sometimes see through it. I mean, that was pretty obvious, wasn't it? He's clearly not happy. He's absolutely not happy, because if you look at the table, you know, from the outside looking in, well, why would you do that? Well, if you're in the inside, you'd know why, because he's not getting what he wants. He doesn't feel that the future he will get what he wants as well. And actually, he's done really well, hasn't he? Whenever he's been a manager, and he's not been given enough credit, in my opinion.
We will follow that one closely. Let's quickly give you the half-time situation. Stuart Cameron.
Scotland 5, Ireland 17 at the break. Ireland have dominated with 2 converted tries from Calvin Nash and Keelan Doris and a penalty, but 2 injuries to Finn Russell and Darcy Graham for Scotland has been a big problem for obviously for the Scots in this one. The only joy scoring a try just before the break by Van der Merwe, but it's Scotland 5, Ireland 17.
Women's FA Cup 5th round through are Liverpool, Palace, Arsenal, Man City and Sunderland have just made it through as well. It's FA Cup Game Day live on Talksport with Carling, official beer partner of the Emirates FA Cup, 18 plus. Please drink responsibly. Who's going to make it out here? Through into the 5th round of the FA Cup. We're just underway. Plymouth 0, Liverpool 0. Here's Scott Minto and Jim Proudfoot.
Adrian, thank you very much indeed. It's Liverpool kicking from left to right towards the Barn Park end that houses their fans. Argyle in their green shirts, white shorts. Liverpool in their change kit of white and black shorts. And Plymouth kicking towards the Devonport end away to our left-hand side, as they love to in the second half. Run through the 2 teams for you, but no further changes in personnel. Liverpool lost Joe Gomez to illness very early in the game. And it's a throw that will be taken on the Liverpool left, far touchline from us. The play back towards Endo, who's playing at centre half today. Now Kostas Tsimikas, back to Endo again. And Endo plays a longer ball over the top. Chiesa chasing after that. And he goes through for Connor Hazard, the Plymouth goalkeeper, who's got a back 5 in front of him of Sorinola, Talavierov, Katic, Plegathuelo and Puhac. Bundu, Randall, JB and Wright. And Ryan Hardy gravitating from the right-hand side into a central position. Bundu has playing a lot of the time through the middle. Liverpool, Kelleher in goal. Mabaya, Kwanzaa, Endo and Tsimikas. Elliot, McConnell and Nyoni. And then Chiesa, Jota and Diaz, the front 3. Jota just hasn't been able to get himself into the game. His teammates haven't been able to get him into the game. In fact, one stat I saw at half-time, he's had 1 completed pass so far. There's Puhac firing a ball through the Liverpool penalty area. It was behind Bundu and too far ahead of Ryan Hardy, who was coming in. Out of play for a goal kick that will be taken by Quaveen Kelleher away to our left-hand side. We're 2 minutes into the second half. It's live and exclusive for National Radio here on Talksport. It's Plymouth 0, Liverpool 0, and it's Scott Minto.
It wasn't the worst ball in the world, especially on his right foot, Puhac, and on the right-hand side, they'd all come in. Someone just needed to hang back a little bit. It's an incredible stat, isn't it, Diogo Jota? Just 1 completed pass in that first half. He will complain that he hasn't been given the service, but we've touched on whether Darwin Núñez will come on. He might do sooner rather than later.
Bundu just trying to play the ball down the The line for Puhac. And cleared easily down the Liverpool right-hand side by Chiesa. Yes, many Plymouth teeth have not been knocked out of the defenders' faces as Diogo Jota has completed passes up to this point so far.
That's a sentence I never actually thought I'd hear you say, Jim.
That was a sentence I barely could say. The ball is out for a throw, which will be taken on the Liverpool right-hand side. Mabaya came on for Joe Gomez, and that just necessitated a positional reshuffle as far as Liverpool were concerned. He's in the book. The Nyoni is in the book as well. Well, clearance from Hazard wasn't the best. He just delayed it, and by the time he got it away, it hit Elliott. Elliott scampers back to get onside. Chiesa, though, with the ball at his feet. Maybe he and Jota guilty of getting in each other's way. And the ball goes through towards Connor Hazard, and the half chance was lost.
The pitch is just a little bit wobbly, and when it was coming back, I think Diogo Jota thought, perhaps he realised he's not been involved in the game. Can I do something here?
Oh, it's a lovely touch by Bundu. Spun round the corner here for Wright. Wright, dummies. Wright put a ball inside the penalty area. Endo came back and dealt with it by heading it over his own bar and out for a corner. But for a moment, Kelleher completely wrong-footed. Endo had to get that right. Good defending in the end. Plymouth with their second corner of the day.
Well, Mabaya's a misplaced header that, in the end, it fell towards Callum Wright. He comes back inside Mabaya, and I mean, it's good defending from Endo, but that could easily have gone in the back of the net.
Adam Randall will take the corner. The Plymouth skipper runs up, low ball in towards the near post. It was probably his worst contribution of the day so far. Easily cleared. Wright hooks it back over his own shoulder. Randall can't go for it because he thinks he's offside. And Tsimikas will just watch as the ball bobbles 2, 3, 4 times over the line and out for a goal kick, which Kelleher will take. Still 0-0.
And it's what the Plymouth fans want to see. They started off on the front foot in the first half. Try and start off on the front foot in the second. We know that at some point Liverpool will start to take real control, but again, we're starting from scratch. Go at them, see if you can create something, and they very nearly did it there. Just interesting with Connor Hazard. He's not really known for having the ball at his feet. Daniel Grimshaw is the better of the two, but it is Hazard that has been given the number one just because he is the better shot stopper and better goalkeeper. So don't mess with it, especially if you've got Jota running at you.
Yeah, he's been recalled for the last couple of games, and Daniel Grimshaw, who signed on from Blackpool to replace Mike Cooper early season, has found himself relegated back down to the bench again. Cooper went to Sheffield United. Sheffield United in action Wednesday night at home to Middlesbrough. We'll bring you that one live on Talksport 2. It's another day where we'll bring you a choice of listening, because we got the Merseyside derby, Liverpool at Everton. Next Wednesday, the following Wednesday, they go to Villa. Both of those games are live here on Talksport. This one still 0-0. Liverpool have only had one failure to score in their last 33 games in all competitions. Even that was rendered academic because it came against Spurs in the first leg of the League Cup semi-final. They made up for it in the second, but they can't find a way through past this Plymouth back line so far. 0-0 the score.
And there's no second leg today. No, it is done and dusted. So I'm not criticising Arne Slot. Of course I'm not. Who am I to tell him what to do? He's been nothing short of sensational coming in, handling things, not just on the pitch and game management, but also...
As the ball is played by Wright, over the top for Hardy. Now coming onto it is JB. Randall actually took control of that right in front of JB. Didn't give him a shout. Worked it wide towards Sorinola, down by the corner flag, and his cross is blocked and it goes out of play for a throw.
Well, very nearly in there, weren't they? And again, they're putting Liverpool defence under pressure. I just feel the lack of options of trying to turn it around in what is a one-off game. This is always, on paper, it looks such an easy game where Plymouth are, but it's always going to be very, very difficult, especially with the team in midfield that has been picked, and it's proven to be the case.
Sorinola to launch a throw inside the penalty area. It's headed on, brought down by JB. Tries to flick it over that, looks as though it hit an arm, it did. And it is a penalty to Plymouth Argyle. Harvey Elliott had his arm raised, the ball hit him, but the arm deemed to be in an unnatural position, and Plymouth, bottom of the Championship, have the chance to take the lead against quadruple chasing Liverpool.
Goodness me, Harvey Elliott, what are you doing? I mean, look, it's so far above his shoulder. You know, he can sort of say that's my natural body, the way I'm going. No, it's not. You're in the box. Just keep your arms down, below your shoulder. It's gone above his head, so it's not even as if it's like to the side of him and his arms out a little bit more. He's put both arms above his head. It's a very good decision from the referee, I have to say, who has done excellent so far.
Ryan Hardy came off the bench to score a penalty against West Brom last weekend. And he just studied his run-up. He waited for the goalkeeper to dive, and then he rolled it down the middle. Kelleher has saved penalties from Poyampalo, Adam Armstrong and Mbappe this season. He hasn't saved one from Ryan Hardy, though. It is 1-0 to Plymouth. Extraordinary drama here in Devon. And now they really believe they've got something tangible to protect. They lead Liverpool by a goal to nil. Is this the day? Is this the place that the quadruple dream goes up in smoke? Ryan Hardy from the penalty spot, drilled into the bottom left-hand corner, and Plymouth lead Liverpool.
Well, it's a wonderfully taken penalty, and pretty much in the same way the last time he stepped up. Let's just say there's a few more noughts of people who are watching, and he handled the pressure absolutely superbly. Shaped to put it one way, he tucked his foot around and put it the other. And I tell you what, we talked about options off the bench. Arnie Slot will have to do something, and soon, because not only are Plymouth more than holding their own, since the start of the second half, they have been the better side.
Wow. Ryan Hardy's name being chanted by 15,000 devoted Devonians. He's got the ball now and gets it back from Bundu over on the far touchline. Tsimikas blocks it. This time last week, as near as makes no difference, he'd gone 18 without a goal. Came off the bench and scored 2 to propel Argyle to their first win in 16 games. Now he scored the goal that sees Plymouth lead Liverpool, and they've got 35 minutes to hold on. It's his fourth round tie with Argyle. He's lost to Sheffield United, Chelsea and Leeds, and if my memory serves me correct, might have missed the penalty in the game against Chelsea in that run, or maybe missed a really good chance. But salvation a few years on. Plymouth 1, Liverpool 0. Still plenty of time for Liverpool. Diaz over on the left flank for the Reds, brings it forward. Elliott controlled that one a little bit awkwardly. That wasn't handball. As he controlled it, smacked it into his own chin. Kwanzaa, Elliott letting it run. Chiesa from distance and well wide. Plymouth 1, Liverpool 0. And the cricket has finished. England beaten by India. Samara.
Yeah, India have won the game by 4 wickets to win the match in series, chasing 305. They get there with 33 balls remaining. The openers Rohit and Gill put on 136 inside just 16 overs to get India well ahead of the game. Rohit, the captain, went on to make 119. India win the second ODI by 4 wickets for the final ODI on Wednesday.
Plymouth fans literally bouncing up and down around us. They're not taking anything for granted, but in a season that has been miserable by and large with a capital M, they can see their day in the sun, and it could be here and now against the league leaders.
You know what, Jim, you're right, there is a long way to go, but what have we seen so far from this Liverpool side? If this is the Liverpool side playing in midweek against Spurs, you'd all day long fancy them to still come back out of this. From what we've seen so far, where they've only had 1 shot on target, Liverpool, and in that first half Diogo Jota just had 1 completed pass. Trust me, anyone I'm speaking to, myself included, don't go anywhere, because this is going to be a really exciting end to this game. Liverpool will have to go for it, substitutions will have to be made, it will open up, but even Federico Chiesa there, he snapped at the shot where he didn't need to. And Connor Hazard will be happy with that all day long. 25 yards out. Yeah, go and try and beat me. What a game we got on our hands here.
You're not missing anything just for a moment, because Plegazuelo has been down, injured, receiving a little bit of treatment. And he is going to be okay. He's going to be able to continue. Adrian tells me that Ryan Hardy did miss that penalty at Chelsea. It was 4 minutes from the end of the game. They were 2-1 down, and that was how the game finished 3 years ago this week. He's waited a little bit of time for some redemption. He's got it. Now Liverpool are making a change, and Maguire, who came on 10 minutes into the game to replace Joe Gomez, is the man that is coming off, and he's going to be replaced by Darwin Núñez. So Núñez will come on. He will play through the middle. You would imagine that Jota will drop in at 10. Diaz and Chiesa staying out wide, and McConnell will now go back to right back from the midfield, potentially.
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, I do feel for Isaac Mabaya. There's collateral damage there. Arne Slot realises he's going to have to be ruthless. It's not something you want to do, bring on a youngster and then take him off, but if he doesn't do something with the options that he has, Liverpool quadruples over, out of the FA Cup.
High ball over the top. Now Quansah can head it away. JB into space. Liverpool have lost their shape defensively. McConnell across now to cover Callum Wright. But right on the left-hand side of the Arrows just stumbled, tripped over the ball. And then JB, did he catch McConnell? The referee says yes. Free kick to Liverpool. Plymouth back up to 11 because Plegazuelo's been given permission to come back on. But it is Plymouth 1, Liverpool 0. They've got 31 minutes, Liverpool, to score the equalising goal that will at least take this into extra time.
And Plymouth just need to keep their discipline now. Don't lose their heads. And JB didn't need to dive in there and give away a free kick. Could have kept Liverpool pinned in. They've just got to make sure, they've got the fans behind them. That what a result this would be for their season, for the history of Plymouth Argyle Football Club. But keep focused, keep concentrated.
Well, they've been drawn against Premier League sides 8 times this century. They took Liverpool to a replay in 2017, beat Brentford in the 3rd round this season. They've lost the rest. In fact, that win at Brentford was the first time that they knocked out a top-flight team since they beat West Brom back in 1984. And as any Plymouth fan would tell you, that was the year in terms of cup football in this part of the world. The only Devon side ever to reach the semi-finals of the FA Cup, and they did it as a 3rd division team and lost to Watford. Last time they avoided defeat to top-flight opposition here in the Cup was against Everton back in 1989 when Kevin Sheedy equalised for the Toffees with a penalty in the last 10 minutes, and they went on to get to the final that year, Everton. Plymouth have got another free kick here. Callum Wright, foul. Plymouth in no hurry to restart play any of these stoppages now. Katic will leave the ball for Randall, and the Plymouth captain will come across to take it. An hour in and Plymouth lead. It's live on Talksport, and the big shot being brought to you right across North America as well on Sirius XM FC. I bet if you're in Plymouth, Massachusetts today, you're delighted with what you're hearing. Ball goes out of the right-hand side of the area. Hardy trying to get in. Oh, he's hit the post. And he goes to safety. Well, Kelleher gets something on that to touch it onto the post. Ball played over the top. Katic just nodding it down. And Hardy possibly was offside, but the ball struck with his right foot has come back off the post with a little brush off Kelleher on the way for a corner.
Great header from Katic, I have to say, but he was offside. If that had been 2-0, do you know what? I don't see this Liverpool side coming back from 2-0. He was offside and he was inches away from making it 2.
Corner to be taken on the Plymouth right. Can they score a second? Put daylight between themselves and Liverpool. It's a left-footed in-swinging delivery from Puhac, who's actually overhit, cleared, and then a left-footed effort then from Callum Wright. Flies over the bar most of the way back the Devonport end, down into the car park. Out of play for a goal kick. So, just have a look at the match stats. We're 62 minutes in. Possession 3/4 to Liverpool. Their XG is 0.12. For an hour's worth of play and 76% of the ball, they've had 4 attempts and only 1 on target.
absolutely says it all. Plymouth have been quite happy until they've tried to get on the front foot, but at times Liverpool have had the ball. They've been very compact, so try and break us down if you can. It's amazing what... Again, very low to criticise Arne Slot, but you looked at the team and then you look straight away at the bench. Well, there must be options just in case it doesn't go well. I'll tell you what, Darwin Núñez has come off the bench pretty recently and made a difference, hasn't he? Let's see if he can do the same.
Well, Manchester City had to bring De Bruyne and Foden off the bench yesterday, which certainly wouldn't have been ideal. De Bruyne making the impact that got them over the line and through to the 5th round draw. Núñez on here, Curtis Jones not yet, but he's the only other player with any notable experience on the bench for Liverpool.
He's got to get on, Jim. He's got to get on as soon as possible. Now, Liverpool are going out the FA Cup here. If they carry on the way they're doing, you've got to get your best players on the pitch now.
Have been knocked out at this stage in 5 of the last 9 seasons, Liverpool. West Ham and Wolves, and West Brom, Manchester United, and Brighton a couple of years ago. Been on the wrong end of some shots. Remember, they lost at this stage at Oldham back in 2013. Oldham were 19th in League One. They'd only taken 1 point from the previous 8 games. So this result wouldn't be quite as bad as that, but there's more at stake as Liverpool chase the quadruple. Remember, they've gone from 1,000 to 1 down to 35 to 1 to win all 4 trophies. So we stand here right now, they're not quite 35 to 1 anymore, a little bit bigger than that.
Imagine if you had a tenner at 1,000 to 1 and you're watching this now.
I'm only a tenner.
I wouldn't put more than that on 1,000 to 1.
Here's Kwanzaa. And he's pulled it back towards Endo. 64 gone. Plymouth 1, Liverpool 0 here on Talksport. The shock is on. Elliott. Liverpool able to bring the ball forward to James McConnell in the midfield. Reverse pass from him. Jota came to meet it, couldn't get there. Puhatch was hoping that he could smuggle the ball over the line. Now to play for a goal kick. Chiesa stopped him from doing that. The ball is cleared. And now Pleguezuelo has gone down injured again. And that suggests the second time that he's gone down in the space of 6-7 minutes or so, that could be his race run, and that would be a massive blow.
It'd be a massive blow. You know, he's been excellent. The whole back 5 have been excellent. And got tight when he's needed to. He's protected his wing back when he's needed to. And this would be a big blow, but it's the second time he's down there. I can't believe he's going to carry on.
While he's receiving the treatment, we'll get an update from the rugby. Here's Talksport's Stuart Cameron.
Yes, it's Scotland 5, it's Ireland 17. They've just kicked off the second half, and Scotland thought they had a penalty, a try, but it was disallowed. Instead, they've got a penalty, and Blair Kinghorn about to put this over, and if he does, that will suddenly make it 17 points to 11 after being 17-0 down. So the Scots will certainly feel as if they're back into this game. Over it goes. There it is, 11-17.
Stuart, thank you very much indeed. We'll keep you updated with everything going on there. Remember, England lost the cricket, the second one-day international. Coming up after us, it's Villa against Spurs. So we'll bring you the team news very shortly from your commentator Mark Wilson. Tomorrow night, Crystal Palace go to Doncaster in the FA Cup. It's the second time that they've had a cup trip there in the relatively recent past. And we'll bring you that one on Talksport 2. And then FA Cup 4th round weekend concludes just up the road from here. Exeter against Nottingham Forest. And that's Tuesday night on Talksport 2, whilst we bring you Manchester City, Real Madrid here on Talksport. Pleguezuelo can't continue. He comes off and is replaced by Victor Palsson, the Icelandic international, who was a trainee at Liverpool as a teenager. Didn't make any senior appearances. He's got a Swiss Cup winners' medal. He's played in Scotland, the States, the Netherlands, Sweden, Denmark, Switzerland, Germany, Belgium and Plymouth. And he is on for the final quarter of normal time.
2 things. 1, boy, will he be up for this. 2, Plymouth fans singing, "You're getting sacked in the morning."
Yeah, to Arne Slot. It's not the first time. They learnt the words from that earlier this season here, but they weren't necessarily directing it to the visiting manager. It's had its moments here this season, but they certainly feel as though a corner has been turned. Absolutely no disrespect to the previous incumbent. Liverpool working the ball in here. 23 minutes ago, I would imagine, Scott, this becomes a psychological test for Liverpool as much as anything else. They're playing the situation as well as the opposition. They know what's at stake. They know they are having a proper off day. How can they lift themselves from their torpor?
Well, this is where the leaders come in, the experienced players come in, because they've been there, they've seen it, they're able to handle these situations. And again, I go back to, and of course he's not going to pick the same team as the one against Spurs, but if that team was here now, I'd still have it all day long. They were going to go and win the game within 90 minutes. This is a full of inexperience where things just are not going well. And I'm looking at who's trying to get on the ball, who's trying to make the movements. And they're not really troubling. It's not even a jab, let alone a proper punch on the nose for the Plymouth defence. So, look, I'm sure something will step up. I'm sure Curtis Jones will come on the pitch. I'm sure Diogo Jota will get half a chance, and then suddenly, bang, the whole complexion of the game changes. But at this moment in time, Liverpool are going out the FA Cup.
Second half, Liverpool have had one off-target shot. And we were expecting after a listless first 45 minutes that they would improve. Have, in fact, taken a step back and now find themselves behind. Plymouth with a throw and a lead to protect. Throw goes down towards Bundu, down by the corner flag. Liverpool get it out of harm's way over on the far touchline. Bundu has fouled his man, and it's going to be a free kick that will be taken by Liverpool over on the left-hand side. Bundu hurt himself in the process of making that challenge. I think it's all going to be all right. He's on his haunches. Newley wasn't happy with the challenge on him. Plymouth are going to make another change, incidentally. We're going to see Mohamed Tijani, a striker on loan from Slavia Prague, who hasn't started since the opening day. And he's going to come on, and he'll replace. Well, we don't know who he's going to replace. Not just yet. I thought they were going to make the change then. Bundu got a yellow card for that challenge, incidentally. The first Plymouth player booked. Plymouth 1, Liverpool 0. And if you're a Liverpool fan, the clock is ticking down pretty quickly. Almost in the final 20 minutes now here on Talksport. Ball goes out to the Liverpool left. Work round the corner. Talavera with his latest trademark challenge, cleaning everything out. And there you go, Jota saw it coming, got out of the way. It will be a Liverpool throw level with the edge of the Argyle box. Throw's taken back for Endo. Endo's 15 yards inside Plymouth territory. Nyoni. We are now in the final 20 minutes. Ryan Hardy's penalty some 17 minutes ago, so they're nearly halfway, Plymouth, from taking the lead and getting to full time. Ball inside the penalty area here, headed away by Katic. Nodded down, right with the touch. One back by Nyoni. Bundu can't get the ball to stick just for the moment, and had his arms around Nyoni again. The referee told him to desist. He may well be coming off in a moment. They're going to be bringing on Malachi Boateng as well for his Plymouth Argyle debut. What a situation to walk into. Talavera gets the ball away, finding Bundu. Bundu holding it up, waiting for movement to his left-hand side. Callum Wright provided that. One more stop down the line for Puhatch. Wright continues his run down the left-hand touchline, and he's played in. Plymouth making good ground, but the ball inside the penalty area is far too high for Hardy. And Liverpool are going to be able to easily bring it away. That, truth be told, a rare sortie into the Liverpool final third from Muslic's men. And there's a lot of containment to be done from a Plymouth perspective over the 20 minutes that remain. They've got another free kick. Liverpool. Diaz has been fouled here. That will allow Plymouth the chance to make the double change. And no surprise that Bundu's coming on. Does so to a massive ovation. Mohamed Tijani on for just his 5th Plymouth appearance, but that's 4 more than Malachi Boateng, whose last appearance in England was an EFL trophy game for Crystal Palace's youngsters back in 2021. He's been up in Scotland since then. He signed from Hearts on Monday, and he comes on for his FA Cup debut. So Boateng on, and Tijani on. And Bundu is coming off, and Adam Randall has been replaced as well.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's just trying to make sure there's legs there. They are tired. defended so well, and they've given absolutely everything. And I just want to give a mention to Matthew Sorinola as well, up against Luis Diaz, one of the most skillful players in English football, and yet he has absolutely not given him an inch.
Now Chiesa has beaten Puhac. Ball inside the penalty area. Coming onto it was Diaz, and he scrambled away past him. He couldn't get a clean contact, and it was cleared in behind him by Katic. And now Puhac rifles it away with the outside of his left boot, and out for a throw that'll be taken on the Liverpool right by Kwanzaa.
Oh, that was the moment. I've not had many Liverpool, if at all. I mean, Chiesa's hardly got past Puhac at all. He did there. He put the ball in. And he's not even got hold of it properly, Luis Diaz, hasn't he? He's just got in front of Sorinola, who actually, in the end, gets a touch. But if he'd have hit that clean, I don't think not only Sorinola or Conor Hazard would have had a chance.
17 minutes to go. Liverpool behind here at Home Park.
Better from Liverpool though, Jim. They're being more attacking. They're actually, when that one-on-one situation, Chiesa for the first time got past Puhac. Luis Diaz read the situation, came inside. Do 2 or 3 more of those between now and the end of 90 minutes, they will get a goal.
Make no bones about it though, this is a proper test of Liverpool's mettle here, with time running out. Kwanzaa to Elliott. It's a day when some young men can come of age, or can unwittingly write themselves into Liverpool's history. Tsimikas led with the edge of the penalty area. We're going to see Coney Doherty come on for his Liverpool debut in a moment. Chiesa on the right-hand side of the penalty area. Puhac didn't allow him past that time. Ball out of play for a throw. Oh, a mistake. It's McConnell inside the area. The angle's tight. The defensive block good from Katic. And there's a chest bump there between Katic and Poulsen after they were able to deal with that cross between them. It goes out of play for Liverpool's first corner of the second half.
Brilliant, and that's what you want from your defenders. If one of the opposition goes past one of them, not just one but 2 come across as well.
Tsimikas will take the corner on the Liverpool right. 1-0 they trail. Left-footed in-swinging delivery. Header away from Katic. Another one from right, outside the penalty area. Chiesa is there. He's got Diaz behind him in support. Luis Diaz has got it now. Harvey Elliott taking over. Controls it with his first touch. Loops a high ball up, and the bounce was horrible for Diaz. And that allows Talavera off the chance to get in between him and the ball, and then invite the challenge, which results in a Plymouth free kick. And again, he whips up the crowd. He's able to buy the Plymouth hoe as well as the barbecue. Here comes the change for Liverpool. He does. Yoni off, and he's going to be replaced by the Irish 18-year-old Trent Coney-Doherty, who's made 3 appearances for the under-21 side in the EFL Trophy. Shock curly hair. He comes on. He is a winger, so he's going to come on and play on the right. And Chiesa goes over to the left. And is it going to be Nunez and Diaz through the middle in a 4-4-2 for Liverpool? Maybe. Is that how they're going to be setting up here? Plymouth work the ball forward. Here's Callum Wright. Puhac, left-footed ball inside the penalty area, and awkward one to defend. Kwanzaa caught off balance, blocked it, and was able to make sure the ball didn't hit his hand. And now Jota Paulsen's trying to pull him back. Referee might revisit that in a moment. Ball played in towards Nunez. Sorinola there first, right in front of his goalkeeper to get it away and put it out for a Liverpool throw. 1-0 with 14 to go. Liverpool chasing an equaliser. Sorinola beats Chiesa and then clears up front towards Tijani. But Kwanzaa's able to easily step across and get it away from him, and then a heavy touch puts it straight over the line and out of play for a throw to Plymouth.
Wow. And you ask me, what can Liverpool do? They need their leaders. Again, still waiting on Curtis Jones to come off the bench. Is it going to happen now? Has he got a little niggle? What's the reason why you've got him on the bench and you're not bringing him on, and you're 1-0 down, and you're 15 minutes away from getting knocked out of the FA Cup against a team that's rock bottom of the Championship? But Sorinola, twice there. Absolutely brilliant defending, especially when he just left his man behind him, came across and nicked the ball off Owen Nunez.
Here comes Puhac. Ball in towards the near post. hit Connie Doherty, goes into the side netting and out for another Plymouth corner. And if they were to score a second, you'd have to feel that this Liverpool side on this particular day wouldn't be able to get back into it. 1-0 might not be enough for Plymouth. 2-0 might well be. Puhaj comes across by the corner flag with its green flag hanging limply by its side. This will be an away swinger from Puhaj, who raises his right arm above his head. It's in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Defensive header was good. The second one from Connie Doherty got it further away. Right, goes back for Sorinola. Right-footed ball curved over the top. That's headed away. Connie Doherty brings it down. And now it's played through the midfield neatly, and an opportunity for Harvey Elliott to get it forward. Jota will chase after it. Sorinola has fouled him. Plymouth fans thought that he'd won it cleanly. The referee doesn't, and Sorinola's going to be booked.
He definitely didn't win it cleanly. He came across, and I think he's got cramp off the back of it as well. I'm not surprised the amount of running he's done. And he's coming over to the left back area where Diogo Jota covering his run. I think it's one of those where I've got to go for this, otherwise I can't run again. Yeah, he's mistimed that. It's a definite foul. It's a definite yellow card. And it's an opportunity for Liverpool.
Sorinola in the books, the fourth player to have his name taken today, 2 for each team. Plymouth 1, Liverpool 0. Sorinola is being marched back by referee Barrett, and he's almost at the corner of the penalty area as he stands as the one-man wall. Tsimikas is going to take the free kick, and nearly everybody is forward to attack it. McConnell stayed back, but the rest are there. Plymouth keeping a high line on the edge of the penalty area. Big gap for Tsimikas to hit. Big goalkeeper for him to hit as well. Let's put it straight down Hazard's throat.
Well, if you're going to have an in-swinging free kick like that, you really need to aim it much further out. He's aimed it kind of straight where the players are, and then it's curled into Conor Hazard, who would be absolutely loving the fact that it's almost just like a warm-up cross being put in for the goalkeeper.
He's only kept 3 clean sheets this season. He's only kept 8 in 40-odd games for Plymouth. But is he going to be able to keep one against Liverpool? It's looking that way. Would actually be the 4th time this century, remarkably, that the side top of the Premier League have been knocked out of the FA Cup by lower division opposition. Come back to that in a moment. Chiesa down the left-hand side. Tsimikas hooking it in. Headed away by Kadic brilliantly at the near post. Because if that cleared him, Jota was heading it in for 1-1.
Jim, what a header. What a header. Great positioning from the centre-half. There were 2 Liverpool players just ready to get a clean header, and Hazard would have had no chance whatsoever. Brilliant defending again.
Michael Obafemi's going to come on, and he replaces Ryan Hardy, who leaves the field as the potential match winner. 10 minutes to go. It's Hardy's penalty that is the difference between the two sides. A moment of personal retribution for him after a crucial penalty miss against Chelsea in a cup tie 3 years ago. But he might have written his name in Plymouth folklore. Obafemi comes on. And just going back to those 3 previous moments when the side top of the Premier League have been beaten by a side outside the top flight. Mo Salah played in one of those, not playing today, but he was in the Chelsea side, beaten by Bradford and John Stead a few years back. Quansah hanging the ball forward here, headed away again bravely by Kadic. The boot was raised by Nunez. It wasn't a foul. He's back on his feet and there to clear again to get it away from Luis Diaz, and out of play for a corner. Although Plymouth certainly felt as though the boot was raised by Nunez far too high and dangerously, and it should have been a free kick in the previous phase of play.
It wasn't though, Jim. Just seeing a replay, it was only waist height. Kadic, I don't blame him trying to go for it, and the fans.
So Liverpool corner, they've worked it short. Add to Chiesa, who will come inside the penalty area before drilling in a right-footed cross that's headed away by Kadic. Back out towards the far touchline, and Chiesa's got it. He's pulled it out of the sky. Not a ball in from him. He's travelled a long way and through the 6-yard box, straight out of play for a goal kick. Still the shock is on with 8 minutes to go. At the conclusion of this game, we'll bring you Villa Spurs. And here's the team news with Mark Wilson.
2 changes for Villa as Bailey and Marlon come in for Bogard and Watkins. Marcus Rashford starts life at Villa on the bench. 4 changes for Spurs. Davis, Basuma, Sarr and Richarlison miss out as Porro, Bergvall, Moore and Tell come in. Villa against Spurs, 5:35.
Mark, thank you very much indeed. And as Mark says, that is a 5:35 kickoff that you'll hear live here on Talksport. Will Plymouth still be in the cup by then? Will Liverpool's quadruple dream still be burning? Here's JB. Ball chipped out towards the Plymouth right-hand side. Darko JB's got it again. It's a great turn to get himself clear of Chiesa. Running towards the edge of the penalty area. Plays it in towards Tijani. Tijani just playing the way that he's facing. Back through the midfield for Malachi Boateng. Right. Puhac. High left-footed ball inside the penalty area. Headed down. Callum Wright on the edge of the penalty area. Little flick up from him. Got it past McConnell. But it was then headed away by Endo. Paulson turns the ball over the top. And Tijani can't go for it because he's offside. It goes through towards Kelleher. Liverpool fast, running out of time. 7 minutes plus stoppage time to go.
I don't think Plymouth know how to do game management. Whenever they've got a chance of getting it in, they get it in. They don't try and just keep the ball.
Oh, sorry, Notice misjudged that. Ball across the 6-yard box and nobody there to tap it in for Liverpool. It's a great delivery, but nobody could get there in time. And Jota just looks away bemused. He'd done all of the hard work. Nobody there to capitalise.
Oh, he did. He just leant in. The ball went behind. He turned. He's inside the box, getting close to the byline, and just hammers it across the 6-yard line with his left foot. Screaming for someone to get in that position. It would have been a simple tap-in, but Darwin Núñez was 3 or 4 yards off and no one else around him.
Now Endo. Thought he got himself into a bit of trouble there as Obafemi tried to nudge the ball past him. Endo stood his ground. Obafemi went down, and the striker on loan from Burnley is just waved back to his feet by referee Barrett. We've got 6 minutes to go. Kwanzaa stretching out his right leg and able to bring the ball under control. Little drop of the shoulder, elegantly takes it past right. Now it's Núñez, and from a tight angle he's hit a brisk shot that spiralled wide of the near post and didn't get the deflection he's claiming. Out of play into the Liverpool fans in the Barn Park end. It's a goal kick, and by the time it's taken, Plymouth are 5 minutes away from knocking Liverpool out the cup.
Well, I do think with a couple of injuries, it's probably going to be at least another 5, if not more than that, 7 or 8. I mean, Liverpool have the time to take it into extra time, but that's what they're thinking now. It's not about trying to win it within 90 minutes. It's about trying to stay in the FA Cup. Plymouth have been absolutely superb. And it's not easy, Jim. It's not easy when you pick a side and it's a young side and things go against you to suddenly turn it around. They haven't got the players. This is not the Liverpool side that we've been watching, obviously, for a long time, and especially during midweek. This is a different Liverpool side. Just really surprised with the bench. I really am.
Let's get a very quick update from the rugby. Here's Stuart Cameron.
Yes, it's Scotland 11, Ireland 29. Ireland have the bonus point in the bag with 4 tries, and the latest coming from James Lowe and Jack Conan to give the Irish an 18-point cushion. Into the final quarter, most optimistic of Scots will be hard to press to see a way back for their team now. Scotland 11, Ireland 29.
The ball has gone out of play for another Liverpool corner. And as a Plymouth player has gone down with a touch of cramp, Tsimikas getting the cross in. Maxi Televier able to block the cross, which brought the obligatory fist pump. And Sorinola really struggling. He's been excellent. He's put in a real shift, the former MK Don. But he's back on his feet. Doesn't want to leave the field and get treatment. They're taking up station inside the penalty area. Wright is actually doing Sorinola's defensive job at the near post. And the referee has, just before the corner is going to be taken, stopped play because he wants a word with, I think, Tijani for something that was going on. Maybe Tijani and Kwanzaa getting involved in a little bit of wrestling. So we're in the 87th minute. It's Plymouth 1, Liverpool 0. Tsimikas will take this corner. It's going to be a left-footed away swinger towards the penalty spot. Kwanzaa was the target, headed away by the impressive Kadic to get it clear. Back into the fray by Harvey Elliott. Another good header away. And this one from Boateng. And Liverpool forced to go back. But Elliott will be able to bring the ball down. Drills it forward towards Darwin Nunez, who can control it. Looked as though he might have been offside potentially. Nunez, Connie Doherty, clipping the ball inside the area. Chiesa gets his head to it. Obafemi gets his right foot to it to boot it high up into the Devonian sky. Then when the ball is returned, Plymouth win next contact as well. Tijani can't get it to stick. Endo works it back, although Tijani will chase it. And Elliott mopping up finds Endo. Obafemi puts the ball out of play. It's a Liverpool throw with 2 minutes plus stoppage time left.
Sorinola's got to come off. I'm sorry, he can't run. And I've been there before where you get towards the end of the game, you want to be part of it. You've had a good game, you're on a fantastic possible win, but you're not doing your team any good. And if a goal comes off the side, his side now, where he's been superb, I mean, that's selfish play, really.
Connie Doherty can't find the way to the edge of the penalty area. Puhac knocks it away. They have got a fullback, Bali Mumba, on the bench that they could bring on, the £1 million signing from Norwich. Kwanzaa sending a ball through the penalty area. Obafemi can nod that one down. Sorinola's almost playing as the emergency striker now, just to keep him out of harm's way, and he's booted the ball forward. And he leads the counter press. There's not much of one. Back he comes again from Elliott. Overhit. He's headed away. Goalkeeper's off his line. And McConnell has volleyed it wide. And that was the chance. Lack of communication at the back from Plymouth, but they get away with it. Goalkeeper came out. It was headed away from right in front of him. Hazard at that point was nothing more than a spectator. It came out of McConnell, and he's put his right foot through it from 21 yards out. But he's missed the gaping target.
Oh, what a wonderful opportunity that is. Arguably the best for Liverpool in the whole game so far. And it was just a long ball through. Goalkeeper not communication enough with his centre-half, and they're having an argument with each other, for sure. Listen to me, I was shouting. Well, I didn't hear you. These things happen all the time. But as McConnell takes the chest down, he just wants a sweet ping, and he's just come off the side of his boot.
Yellow card shown to Hazard for time wasting. Now he takes the goal kick. Last time Plymouth beat top flight opposition in the FA Cup here was in 1962. They beat West Ham 3-0 with a side that included Bobby Moore and Jeff Hurst. 63 years on, they're going to do it again here against the team that's the best Premier League team of the lot at the moment. 9 added minutes. Elliott plays the ball inside the penalty area. That 9 has caused fear amongst the Plymouth supporters, who thought they were nearly there. And now they've got an age again. It can only give hope for Liverpool on the front foot in stoppage time. They trail. The offside flag is up. And you think of every successful season, probably that there's ever been, there has been a moment where it looks as though it might go wrong, that things could unravel. And the great teams find a way. And they can remedy situations when things are against the odds. Liverpool and their youngsters have to do exactly that now. There are Plymouth fans here bobbing up and down in delight. There are some Plymouth fans in tears because they can't cope with the tension and the pressure. Their side have done them proud. That's all they would have wanted coming into today. But from this position, they want the win as well now. Here's Puhac. Sorinola. He's trying to take on Harvey Elliott. He runs it down towards the corner flag. Sorinola has found a second win just for a moment, but he's lost possession to Connie Doherty. And Elliott's going to be able to get it away. Plymouth 1, Liverpool 0. In stoppage time at the end of the game. You're listening to FA Cup Game Day live on Talksport with Carling. The official beer partner of the Emirates FA Cup. 18 plus. Please drink responsibly. This is going to be an almighty shock if they can hold on. And they've got possession. Liverpool lacking in confidence and self-belief, you sense. Right with the ball inside the area, diving header! And it hits the nearest defender, Elliott, and ricochets through for the goalkeeper. It was a chance for Tijani, but he couldn't take it. Elliott plays it forward, whacked back by Paulson. And that will go past the offside. Tijani straight through for Kelleher. 7 minutes of stoppage time to go.
It's a basketball match now, isn't it? Plymouth again don't really know how to play other than try and go forward. And once they're there, the cross shouldn't have come in. Liverpool obviously absolutely going for it, but this is not the Liverpool side that we've seen this season. You only had to look at the team sheet and substitutes bench to say that.
Oh, right for his screaming effort. He's beaten away by Hazard. It's the best save of the game by a long way. It was brilliantly hit by McConnell. He missed a much easier chance than that 3 or 4 minutes ago, but that one, he rifled towards goal and Hazard dived to his right and tipped it around the post for a corner.
Yeah, that's a great strike first time and a really good save as well. Great stretch. Unlucky for McConnell.
Plymouth 1, Liverpool 0, 93 on the clock. Tsimikas to take another corner. Another left-footed away swing, another header from Katic. How many of those have there been? It breaks for Chiesa. Chiesa bringing forward towards the edge of the penalty area, feigning to shoot, then trying to turn away from Boateng's challenge. JB's very quickly on the scene. But Diaz will pick up possession and work it down for Tsimikas. Connie Doherty coming forward now. Can he make a name for himself? Not with that shot, which was blocked, of course, by Katic. Chiesa's ball inside the penalty area. Diving headed clearance comes from Tijani. Obafemi trying to take it on, couldn't get past Elliott. Endo will chase, but the ball over the top's too heavy. Puhac watches it away. And there will only be 5 minutes left when this next goal kick is taken. It's 1-0 Plymouth.
And the fans are standing up and applauding as if Plymouth have just scored another goal. Oh, this is incredible what they've been through this season, where they are even now in the table. And for the best team in the country and the best team in Europe, albeit in name more so in personnel today, to come here to be 1-0 up with just minutes to go, it's so close they can almost touch it.
Long ball from Hazard, beats everybody, goes through for Kelleher. The last 24 occasions Plymouth have faced top-flight opposition, they've been eliminated on all but 2 occasions. One of those was last month at Brentford. Are they going to do it again? It will be the biggest scalp in their history. Connie Doherty. Played through the midfield for Endo. 4.5 minutes of stoppage time have gone, 4.5 to go. Tsimikas making a run on the overlap, ball in from Chiesa. It was a low, poor one. Talavierov had enough time to get it away. He wanted plenty of time. He just about had enough. McConnell back for Elliott. Elliott is a one-man defensive line now, playing almost as a libero for Liverpool. Everybody else is pushed forward. He's got it again from Diaz. Back for Elliott again. We're in the 96th minute and Liverpool are still a goal down. Here's Luis Diaz, right-footed, clipped inside the penalty area, headed away by Talavierov. Was it a handball by a Plymouth player? Referee says no. Diving headed clearance from Katic, who has been extraordinary in the last 25 minutes. And he puts it out of play for a throw which will be taken over on that far touchline. Tsimikas. Rolled down the line for Chiesa, gets towards the byline. And Callum Wright is back defending and he knocks it away. Endo fields that clearance. Liverpool level the edge of the box with Tsimikas. Back from Endo. As he's shoved to the ground by Tijani. The referee says no. Liverpool very quickly win it back though. It's over on the left-hand side of the area with Chiesa. High ball is dreadful. It sails past everybody. Straight out of play for a goal kick. And now there's only 3 minutes to go. They're going to do it.
Well, there's still 3 minutes, but it's counting. That clock is going down so slowly for Plymouth fans, but they should be so proud whatever happens from here on in, the way their team has played. You know, Chiesa's cut inside, he's overhit it, he's put his arms in the air as if like, why aren't you there? But it just goes to show the lack of quality that Liverpool have had today.
Long clearance from our right-hand side from Connor Hazard. Plymouth win it. Played by Malachi Boateng down the line. Tijani already looks tired. He hasn't been on the field all that long really, but he's had no chance of getting it. Kelleher will bring it under control. will come 15 yards outside his penalty area before firing this fork. Quansah comes to meet it but misjudges it. Plymouth hack it clear. Elliott mops that one up, and Sorinola then gets there first. He's pretty much on one leg, Matty Sorinola, but he gets that away. And Kelleher forced to come down towards the touchline to bring it under control. 2 minutes left. The quadruple dream about to go up in smoke unless Liverpool can find a dramatic late equaliser. It's the former Liverpool man Paulson gets it away towards halfway. Looks as though JB was having his shirt pulled there. Referee then sees a challenge flying in from a Plymouth midfielder. He's going to produce a yellow card and give Liverpool a free kick. And this is pretty much last chance saloon. Talavierov in the book. Chiesa fouled. And they'll hit this forward. And they've pretty much got a score from it.
Yeah, look. They get the ball in the box and they might have one other chance on top of that, but if they get the ball in the box, what's been happened so far, these big centre halves, exactly what they've wanted. Liverpool trying to create something, but it's got to the point where you just get it in there and hope someone gets the knockdown.
I remember being at the Hawthorns a few years back where Alisson came forward and scored an extraordinary late goal for Liverpool away to West Brom. Quaveen Kelleher is hoping that he can channel some of that Alisson spirit here. He's made his way forward. Tsimikas takes the free kick. Up go the heads. Diving headed back into the fray. And an unbelievable save from Hazard. How has he got a hand to that? Quansah with the header. He sipped it over the bar. It looked for all the world it was in. It's a Liverpool corner. That is a stunning piece of goalkeeping. What a moment, what a save. Now it is now or never for Liverpool. The 9 minutes are up. In comes his latest corner. Kelleher with the header. Hazard catches it. And Plymouth are nearly there. They're going to win. Plymouth Argyle are going to knock Liverpool out of the cup. Hazard puts the ball down. He drives it left-footed upfield. And it is the most famous day in Devonian football history. What a victory for Plymouth Argyle. There will be no quadruple for Liverpool. Top of the Premier League. Top of their group in the Champions League. In the League Cup final. But they've been beaten, and deservedly so, by the side rock bottom of the Championship, thanks to a nerveless penalty and the most extraordinary save in the 9th minute of stoppage time. Plymouth Argyle, bottom of the Championship, 43 places below Premier League leaders Liverpool. Liverpool maybe took liberty with the team selection. Arne Slot picking a side that he believed would be strong enough to come here and win. But this is a new look Plymouth team. A fresh start for them after the disappointments of the second half of 2024. And February the 9th, 2025 is just about the most famous day in their history. First time that they've beaten top-flight opposition in the FA Cup here in more than 60 years. They're through to round 5. The Liverpool players dejected troop off down the tunnel away to our right-hand side. They thought the trip to Plymouth was going to be a day where the quadruple hopes may flower. But it's the Pilgrim's Progress that makes the headlines. Everybody here will never forget this day. The day that Plymouth knocked Liverpool out of the FA Cup.
Let's get this Plymouth party started. The players are dancing over to the fans away to our left. Love it every second. By the way, lads, forget the celebrations. Millwall are here on Wednesday. You've got a relegation fight ahead of you. But what an afternoon we've had. You've got to love football. You've got to love the FA Cup. If you think the FA Cup is dying, think again. Because this has been something else. This is one of the biggest FA Cup shocks of all time. Sutton beating Coventry 89, non-league Luton winning at Premier League Norwich a few years back, Leeds in the third tier, winning at Fergie's Man United, Wrexham beating Arsenal in the 90s. What about Mourinho's Chelsea? 2, Bradford 4, Hereford Newcastle, Ronnie Radford's Rocket. This is right up there, bottom of the Championship, and that gulf between EFL and Premier League these days is gigantic. Doesn't matter. Bottom of the Championship has beaten top of the Premier League and the side that's been the best in the Champions League so far this season. And these fans played a part. They're arguably man of the match, these Plymouth fans, the Green Army. They are loud, they are proud, but they've been served up some absolute garbage this season. Just 2.5 weeks ago, they were beaten 5-0 here by Burnley. They've lost here to QPR, to Swansea. They've even lost here to Stoke. And now they've turned that around and they've beaten Liverpool. The quadruple has died. Nightmare for Liverpool, but Devon knows how they made this so dreamy. Amazing from Plymouth Argyle. Every man of that team deserves a medal. And we talked about the Scrabble score of that back five before the game, Scott Minto. Wow, they were all monsters. The whole team's been brilliant. Those defenders were sensational today.
Well, if they play like that from here to the end of the season, they're staying up, well, that's no doubt. But it's a different mentality. Liverpool, as you just said, the best team in the country, the best team in Europe, have come here. But it's all about the team, Aid. Let's concentrate on Plymouth first. I think it's nothing short of sensational. What Muslic has done coming in, making them very difficult to beat, apart from that Burnley game, I think has been absolutely brilliant. And what they've added in those last 2 games is a real belief. They've been given money, players have come in. 3 of those back 5, I think, have been sensational and great additions. Sorinola, I thought, was superb today. I really did.
Mate, what was happening at the end with him? He could barely breathe, never mind walk or run. And he's made a darting run down the left-hand side. Incredible performance.
He had cramps so much, and I said about how you don't want him in your back 5. So he was played up as like the furthest man up, and yet he was still running as if he was Darwin Nunez. I mean, it was unbelievable. It's one of those where you just feel superhuman for a day because of who you're playing, how the game has gone, and you get that feeling that they're not able to turn it around. And I go back to the fact of saying, look, if Plymouth are able to play like this and now to the end of the season, they will still be a championship club next season.
And I want to mention the goalkeeper as well. In the last round, I think you were there, weren't you, Brentford? In the last round, he proved what a good shot stopper he is, with some seriously good stops to keep the clean sheet there. And the same again, the one at the end, hazard warning. You're not going to get past him easily. I think he's been brilliant in both these ties. Fantastic.
Absolutely. I'm not sure who the defender was as well that just made the header not quite a free header, which I think would have been a simple goal in the end. But absolutely his reactions there. And do you know what? There's been a battle, hasn't there, this season between him and Daniel Grimshaw. And Grimshaw's seen as better on the with his feet, and maybe he was going to do it under Wayne Rooney. But actually, Muslic has come in and seen that he's the better goalkeeper. He's the better person who can keep that ball out of the goal. And he's made some, isn't a lot to do, but a sign of a good goalkeeper is when you are asked to be called upon, you make good saves. And that's exactly what he did. Liverpool, right in the last few minutes, really came on strong. And he was the one who said, no, not today. You're not scoring in my goal today.
We talked beforehand about the Liverpool team that was picked, and I want to stay with Plymouth here because I wonder if that Plymouth side in the dressing room, having just beaten West Bromwich Albion, looked at the team and thought, hang on a minute, we have actually got a chance here.
100%, Aid. I can speak from experience when you have that and you see that they haven't picked their best team, their best players, and they're not even on the bench as well. That absolutely gives you a boost. In one sense, you want to be able to say, I played against Mo Salah, I came up against Virgil van Dijk, but another one, on the day, if you're going to win the game, I mean, with respect, they ain't going to win it if those players are playing. But I do understand the changes, I really do, but the buck has to stop with Arne Slot. It's his fault that the Liverpool are out of the FA Cup, but I do understand why he's made the changes, because they're through to the League Cup final now, with the Premier League and the Champions League still where they're at and got a great chance of winning that. The FA Cup suddenly becomes the fourth most important. I don't want to say the least important, the fourth most important. Big game coming up against Everton at Goodison Park. 5 games in 15 days. Get through that, then there's every chance they can see it out. But for me, in terms of the team selection, understandable, but at least have the options off the bench, and they didn't have that today.
Yeah, I think that Arne Slot has misjudged things today, and he may reflect and wonder how that happened, because they may well look back on this as a big missed opportunity to win a quadruple. If you miss out on a quadruple by losing at the side bottom of the Championship, you're going to ask some serious questions. And I also think, Scott, questions will be asked. There may be something wrong with Curtis Jones, we don't know. But how on earth he didn't get on the pitch, I have no idea. He is third only to Salah and Gakpo in goal involvements for Liverpool this season. He's been brilliant this season. They've brought him on, bit of insurance, put him on the bench in case you need him, and he doesn't get on the pitch. I don't understand it at all.
Well, it's a question that has to be asked after the game. You know, you're 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes away from getting knocked out of the cup. And I totally agree, and you got in there just before me in terms of, if you're not going to do the quadruple, don't lose to the bottom team in the Championship who sacked their manager not that long ago. You know, so it seems a bit weird, but yeah, you and I had to chat in the studio during the week about how good a player Curtis Jones is, and I know how highly you rate him, but we're both looking at each other and thinking, at what point is he going to come on? Liverpool need leaders now. You know, they need senior professionals, and he's edging towards that, and he can certainly be a leader. You know, and they just didn't have that today. And we looked at the team sheet, eyebrows raised. We looked at the substitutes, even more eyebrows raised. We thought there's 2 players there who are first teamers, and one of them didn't even get on.
Listen, more reflections to come. Just digest the crowds dispersing. The players have gone back into the dressing rooms, but this is going to be remembered forever. This is the joy of football. Embrace it when it happens. It's these moments. Who thinks Plymouth are going to go on and win the FA Cup? If they do, great. But they're probably not going to do that. But this is the big moment nobody who was here will ever forget. And that's what the FA Cup can bring. Never, ever forget that. The FA Cup can bring you the best moments of your life, and there's plenty of Plymouth fans will actually back that up right now. Plymouth 1, Liverpool 0. Plymouth are through in the FA Cup, and Liverpool are out. Best team in England, best team in Europe are out, and the quadruple dreams are over. More reflections to come in just a moment. We've got Villa Spurs.